Welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm the Liberal 12th Man, and welcome back, as always, to another exciting episode of, fun little hijinks here and there, and certainly some insightful insights from our panel and also from you in the chat. So we hope that you do comment and put in your 2 cents worth as we try our best to include everyone's comments to some level at least. We also have a great panel put together for today as always, and we'd like to break down all things Liverpool with you, some insights, some debate, and maybe a bit of fun. Who knows? So today we've got a packed lineup of topics, and joining me on the panel today are Brian, Alante, and Lee. Lee, how you doing?
Good, mate. I'm still in first place, mate.
There you go. That's one way to look at it. Alante, how are you doing today?
Yeah, all good, 12. Big up the chat, and yeah, blessings to all.
Good. And Brian, how are you?
Very good, yeah. Good evening, all.
Evening. A lot to break down. We had a little bit of a new segment I wanted to introduce at least to, because I know it's sometimes when we get into our ratings and the likes, and we have especially when we have a big panel, sometimes can go a little bit long in time. So we're trying our best to make sure that I'm trying my best to consolidate a little bit and make sure that we get the highlights and the proper spotlights on players and the likes. But for our first segment of the day or of the night, I'd like to speak on a player I think that really got to shine a little bit. A player that some have been calling for, possibly even as a starter, but also a player that some people have been asking or wondering, is he a flop, or is he going back to his home country, or is he even interested? Is he fully committed to this program? And Federico Chiesa played his first full 90 minutes for Liverpool yesterday. He showed glimpses of real superior, like his former class, I guess you could say. Not saying he doesn't have class now, or not saying that at all. I'm just saying it was glimpses of the class that we've seen from him previously. He won a penalty and displayed excellent pressing, which actually was the reason why he got the penalty. But is he proving himself as a key player just yet on this squad, and to the point where you can see him getting even more time? So I'm going to ask the panel a couple questions. Please do again chime in the chat. I'm going to ask. I'll go to Brian, since Brian has always been very, very high on Chiesa. I know Brian was really excited to see us get this player through the door. I'm going to ask you, how did Chiesa perform in his first full 90 minutes, do you think, in your opinion?
Oh, just like a longer version of what he's done since we came. We didn't know if he had the full 90 in him. We've never seen him play 90 minutes yet, or know what he looked like for us. He's always going to get to that point. But every time, like I said, every time he came on, he gets into games quicker than anyone I've ever seen. I think that's
agreed.
At least 3 times now we've scored goals because he's taken a shot and it's been saved. That's happened at least 3 times now. He just pretty much, he comes off the bench, some players, they, especially in a game where there's a lot going on, or they might take him a bit of time to get into a game. Chiesa just seems to be kind of like as if he's running from one pitch onto another. It's like he's already been playing for 20 minutes. That's what I've always been most impressed about him, was his ability to instantly be sort of on the ball, wanting the ball, wanting to run at people. I don't think his skills, probably we haven't seen all of that yet, just because of time on the pitch. But I've never been anything other than hugely impressed with what I've seen of him in the red shirt. And then again, last night, it was just a more extended version of that. I think again it comes down to how does he get in the team. You know, there's 3 spots up front. Whose place does he take? If he takes one of them, cool. It's just whose spot is he taking?
Mm-hmm.
Play left. I think he played left the other day. He can play through the middle. He can. It's not just he's a right winger only. So yeah, he's just like certain players with all the other kind of bits and pieces to a side. Some players you just enjoy watching. They're just fun to watch. And Chiesa's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not afraid, no fear in him. Dribbles, shoots, yeah. So I'm super thumbs up, double thumbs up for Chiesa. Yeah.
Okay. I'd ask this question then of Nolante, because I know this is something that is down his alley. Might be a little bit of a softball, but did he show enough to suggest he should be a regular starter yesterday?
It's hard.
I know. It's like it's the tempting fruit on the tree there.
Shame on you, 12. Shame on you for this disgusting, absurd questions. God damn it!
Right.
Big up JK. He's big. Joined us. Big up JK.
Yeah. Hi,
Evening, bro.
Evening.
And just before I answer that, Tov, just a big up because he just said, Jimmy, big up yourself, Cedric as always, and Abdul. Blessings to all of you, man. Blessings always, man. Always keeping the chat lively. Blessings to you.
Yeah.
So to that horrible question you had to throw in my face, 12. That horrible question. It's hard. I mean, I guess I'll say not yet, but again, if Slot was, for instance, to say Saturday he started, I have no problem about it. If I'm honest, he's an experienced player. You know, when we bought him at the start, again, fit and permitting, I thought it was a bargain, and unfortunately injuries. Again, I've said that Slot he's been fit for the last month and a bit, and I feel Slot should have at least given him more minutes, or he should have started one of the games. But he finally got his start, and and you can see what he can do. I think we all know what he can do. You can see, and this is why I think he's going to be crucial for the second half of the season. I believe in certain games you should start him if needs be, and going to be crucial. And in terms of yesterday, I think he was one of our best players on the pitch yesterday. And I'm just looking forward to him. He's hungry, and as JK, we spoke on another stream, on the Fuzzy stream. I mean, people like to do clickbait and all the lies about he wants to leave, he's fed up with the weather, I'm homesick, is a load of crap. And he reiterated again yesterday, but he's never been. He's hungry. Look at the first time he went to Liverpool. Look at the look in his face. And he's like a kid at Christmas. He's excited. He's champing at the bit, and I hope Slot does usually more prominently, not just 4 or 5 minutes for the rest of the season. So happy. Yeah, I'm happy with his display.
Okay. I guess I would ask Lee this question then. What areas of his game still need improvement to truly fit into the system, do you think? What is it that he is possibly needing to adjust, or maybe we need to adjust our system for? What areas of his game do you think he still needs to improve?
I don't think there's many adjustments need making. It's just he's got to return to his full self, hasn't he? Which will only come in time with more full games. I'd like to see him go through the middle with Salah right and whoever you choose on the left. I'd like to see that as opposed to always doing Diaz, say, if Jota ain't fit. I'd like to see him go through the middle once or twice, see how that works out. But he certainly he causes problems for defenders, doesn't he? He gives defenders something to think about, doesn't he, with his movement, Chiesa? And I just want to see more of him, because I still don't know him that well as a player. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'd seen him before we bought him and knew who he was, knew what his strengths were, and that he was a good player. But it's only now that he's here that we're actually seeing him up close and personal, and we're only just seeing him now. So the judgments can't really be made this early, can they? On should he? Do you know what I'm saying? We're going to have to wait a bit. and then see if like we think he deserves to be in the starting 11. But he's done himself no harm last night on a fitness note, has he? That must have been invaluable for him to get that whole game in, and he never looked like he was struggling with his fitness at any point last night. He never looked tired or out of it. He was going right till the end, which was heartening. So yeah, I'm pleased about it.
Okay.
Worried when he got that kick though.
Yeah.
When he got that kick for the penalty, I thought he was only kind of half joking, but he stayed out for a little while.
Yeah, the challenge that got the penalty, actually.
Yeah. I was a bit worried about that for a second. It looked.
Yeah, because he did for a second it looked like he was just trying to sell it, but then after a minute, when he actually had the physios come onto the pitch, I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute,
Well, you could say he got 2 assists, couldn't he? He got brought down for the pen, and he took the shot that the rebound Elliott got. So like he pretty much got 2 assists, didn't he, last night?
Well, I don't know what Dara's. I don't know if is he. He might. Dara might be. Pick up Dara. He might be playing.
I forgot what night it is.
Yeah, he might be like.
Hey, I'm like that all the time.
Trying to have a laugh there, but I'd ask this of JK then. What do you think he adds to this Liverpool team then that we were possibly missing before his real arrival? I guess you could say to this team. Now that we can certainly say that he's certainly arrived in that
there are similarities between him and Diaz in terms of their directness, the way they like to run with the ball.
That's me and
There are a few similarities with Diaz in his game, but there are also differences. I think there's a few differences between them.
That's what's up. I got you. Understood, Lee. Same question to you, JK. Same question to you, JK.
The real JK now. Okay.
Yeah, the other JK. Yeah. No worries, Lee.
What's it called? He had something different, and he had something that we don't know what he's going to do. And I like players like that sometimes. Like Thiago, Batatic, these type of players. I don't know what they're going to do, and I like that sometimes in a football player. And with Chiesa, he's totally different to any of the other guys we've got. He's a really straightforward type of guy. If he sees the goal, he's shooting. I think he will be good to have in Champions League games as well. If we want to win that as well, I think he's going to play an important part in that. For me, main thing is that he's happy, him and his wife, and he settled at Liverpool. And I think in the last month is the most we've seen him since he's been here, and in that time he's played, he showed glimpses of pure quality, been involved in a few goals, looks like he wants to score and win. Great to see. And for me, what it was yesterday in the 87th 88th minute, he was in the left wing position running after the goalkeeper and the defenders. He wasn't just hanging around chilling thinking, we lost the game. He was after that ball. I was like, yo,
he wanted to win.
Really, that really made me happy, actually. Yeah. And he did it a few times in the game where he was running quite a lot. So that shows us, guys, that he sort of stepped it up. Fitness-wise, he stepped it up. Mentality-wise, that he's ready. He wants to play now. Why? Because of the team's doing well. He wants to be a part of that Champions League and Premier League title. So he can say, "Yep, I did my fair little share for that." So for me, I'm really excited to see how he gets on. And blessings, Dara, as well.
Well said. Well, with that said, with the victory, Liverpool finished. Obviously, we finished top of the Champions League group, or the league stage, you could call it, and it is a definite big accomplishment for us, and he was a part of it. I do think, though, and before I go into the second segment, actually, I would like to highlight the fact that Chiesa is a unique player in that we've all known that Chiesa has incredible talents and skills. We all know that part and point, as in there's many of us that were excited at us possibly going for him earlier in earlier year, like earlier meaning like in previous years. but it was just the price was precluding us from doing so. It was just a little bit too high, to say the least, for us to make that kind of expenditure. But being that we've got a very, a bargain basement deal on bringing him in, and it was an opportunity to do so. What's unique is I look at him as being someone that is providing the kind of automatic, like instant injection of offense that we were getting from Elliott last year. But yet, like, not saying we're not getting it from Elliott this year, but just saying what was like something that we did get from Elliott last year. But we're getting it from Chiesa, but with like a little bit of that, like, Italiano spices on it, like as in that the seasoning, I should say, in that we're getting a player that we know is at the level that maybe Elliott is still trying to ascertain too. But Chiesa is a well accomplished veteran, and it's something that is kind of encouraging to see that we have another player similar to Elliott that we can like call on as a starter maybe, but certainly as a, don't get mad at the word, super sub off the bench that can really make an impact off of as soon as he's implemented into the lineup. But let's get into the second segment. This is what I wanted to talk about too, and I know this is going to get people riled up. It's going to probably bring up some of the FSG talk, but that's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm just highlighting the fact that with us finishing atop of the Champions League group, it's going to be a major financial boost. This is something that was pretty wild because I looked at it and was not aware of how much money we actually garnered from just that first round. But there are some reports that suggest that this additional revenue could influence maybe a late approach in the January transfer window. It can certainly enhance our abilities to sign or offer or supplement these contracts that we're trying to get completed, and or it could help us with getting some additional firepower, if not replacement firepower, in the summertime, because it was reported that we received in the tunes of $83 million for our top place finish. And that is quite a bit. I would ask, Brian, just how significant is this financial boost Liverpool received? Is it something that you think we're going to utilize, or is it something that we're going to probably try to offset, considering that we are such a self-sufficient squad in the sense, and it's not like the owners are going to come and scoop up the money and be like, oh, cool, this is our money, and bounce or something like that. More so, this is going to be thrown to certain portions of whatever it has to be to maintain the club. How significant is it? Do you think it is significant, or do you not believe so?
Well, I think it works out at about 100 million quid when you plus you have to factor in also the fact that if we're being sponsored by certain people, or we're being endorsing certain people, there'll be bonuses for things like that, for winning trophies and for this kind of stuff, performance based. So yeah, the kind of round down number for people is it's winning this, topping this group table has won us about 100 million quid. I thought it was quite funny, not you, but to see a couple of YouTubers who've been around the block a long time acting like they've just found out there's prize money for doing well in the Champions League.
Right.
As if it's news to them today. They thought they were in this thing for free. Okay, no, I think you knew about the prize money, lads.
Yeah, I caught some of that, made me laugh.
Yeah, if you, so but like you were saying, I know, look, everyone has their own ideas, but everything we win, everything we generate and earn as a club goes back into the club. Now, if you don't believe they're going to spend it on transfers, or people don't believe, I don't know, but I've seen there's some people out there, they really need to drop this. That just goes into John Henry's pocket, as if like literally he's just going to take that 100 million and put it into his own bank account. No, it all goes back into the club. Do we spend it on transfers or not? I don't know. It's certainly it's better than winning 50. You know, if it goes like, the more money we make, the more money we will spend. It's what do we spend it on? I think it gives us a stronger position to work within PSR. It gives us wiggle room whether they go and use it or not. You know, it's not like, also we sign players. Maybe we don't sign as many as I would like. Maybe we don't sign as many, but it's not like, yeah, over the last 4 seasons, 4 transfer windows, I think we signed 8. So yeah, but it means we can do things. You know, that's what everybody needs, is this PSR money, is this prize money to come in, and that allows you to do things. But I have no crystal ball. I don't think it's far too late now. What, we've got 3-4 days left, is it max? I don't think, you know, because we knew we were going to finish second or third. I don't think we just found out today themselves what money they were going to earn. Oh, bloody hell, we've got some money, we may as well spend it in January. I think it just gives us a bigger amount of wriggle room in terms of all these rules and regulations. We can spend it on what we want, but I know some people will say, "Oh, don't worry, we're not going to spend a penny." But we will sign footballers. We do. It's not like we never sign players anymore. We will buy and sell. That's what we've always done. We just done it at a rate that doesn't please everyone. Like I said, I myself, we could have bought more players back in the day, but like I said, it's much better for us to be winning 100 million. Let's just, for the sake of argument, call it like 100 million euro, than winning 40. You know, so.
Okay. I'll ask then. I'll ask Lee. Do you see Liverpool making any major signings in the January window with this extra money?
No. I think we'd have done it if we were going to do it by now. I think we'd have moved if we were going to move. I think we're waiting for the summer, and hopefully it'll be a glorious summer for transfers. We'll buy 4 players potentially in the summer, I think, but won't in these last couple of days of the window. We'll wait till the summer, I think, which is best, I believe, and I think we can do what we want to do, what we want to achieve with the players we've got.
Okay. That's good. That's a good answer. Then I'll ask this of JK then. If Liverpool were to invest, which position should be the priority? And please answer that in the chat. I know Abdul's gonna say center DM. So Abdul, I got your answer already on tap. I know that, but you can also. Oh, I already see that you did put in.
We got your back here, Abdul. We want to DM too.
Yeah, he wants a left back, centre back, CDM, and a number 9.
Yeah,
he thinks it's Christmas again. I would say I would love to have a DM sort of type of player, a bit solid, who can work with Gravenberch and Endo in those Champions League games, Premier League games, you know. I feel though we're not going to buy anyone. That's like 100%. With this prize money coming in, you got to say, like, at the end of the day, the money's always came in with Liverpool since the owners have come in. We make a lot of money, and with success on the field, you're going to make money off the field. And sometimes I don't think the owners really take initiative to do anything with that. You know, I think now, look, we finished top position yesterday out of 24 teams in the whole of the Europe. You know, and we finished in top. Who would have said that when the Champions League started? Who's going to finish first position at the end of it? We all would have said, yeah, Liverpool, because we support them. But realistically, we never thought we were going to finish top before all them teams. So for me, the time is right just to go out there, to go and get a player. He's thinking, you know what, I'm going to go to a team that could do the Champions League and the Premier League. Look where they're finishing the Champions League first phase. You know, they finished top. It's all money's coming in. advertising money coming in, all these sort of things. We've got money to move in that way with transfers. Depends on what guy you want to go and get, and that's the question, you know.
Question is to
That's the
you. I
main
mean,
thing.
you got the mic right now. You can say what is your choice.
You know, I always say this, you know, like the world of football now, like when you have to pick a number 9 or a manager, you can't really choose because there's not many about. In the old days, there was loads about. But for me, Chukwemeni from Real Madrid, that type of guy. And maybe at the end of the season, the Feyenoord striker, Jimenez, he scores a lot of goals. I'll have a little look at him as well. Yeah, but for me, the transfers, what we've been really quiet in the last 3-4 windows. It's been pretty poor when you think about how much money we're making and what the slot actually needs to go and win all them 4 trophies. He needs another 2 sort of players to come in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Put a little private chat in there for you, Bri. You see it. Okay, well, I'll ask this on Alante then. Would it be wiser to save this windfall for summer instead of rushing into a January deal? Or do you think we need to splash the cash now and worry about summer later?
At this precise moment, it's no point rushing to get a midfield unless there's a target that they've been notifying, or let's just say, example, if it's a CB, then we know they've been after them. So if they said, yeah, he wants to come, then fine, do it. But otherwise, don't rush it. The squad is doing okay, I guess, and just save it to the summer, I would say.
Okay. I see that KJ is happy to wait for the summer. He wants a number 9 if we were to do something, I guess, this January, if not maybe even for the summer little bracket.
For me now's the time.
No, for you, it's the time now.
Yeah, because for me, we're in a position where we can go and win it all. We know what happened last season. We sort of ran out of energy and stuff. Chiesa sort of getting into it now. So they're going to sort of help with that. But I just feel one more guy coming in with a bit of steel behind him will be perfect for our title charges we're going after, you know.
Okay.
Now's the time. Don't wait till summer. You don't know what could happen in the summer, you know. I think now, if there's a possibility to bring quality in, who's going to fit in, get on with it straight away, go for it, you know.
Okay. Is that? I'll ask since JK got a shot at it. What would you say to that for the whole panel? Do you think this is the time, or do we have to make it go? Do we have to? What is it? The time is now to push the button. You know, little Black Eyed Peas.
Chemical Brothers.
What is it?
It's Chemical Brothers.
Okay, Chemical Brothers.
Yes, push the button truck. You know, the time has come to that one.
Best Chemical Brothers tune as well as there ever be. Fucking love that tune.
Isn't that dude from Black Eyed Peas? I think in that though.
will.i.am.
Yeah. Well,
they often have people on there singing. Yeah, I don't know who's on push the button though. If there is someone.
The guy that says.
They often do have. Yeah.
Or no, you know what? That's not. No, you know what? That's not Will. It's not will.i.am. It's actually. I think it's Q-Tip. Actually, I think it's Q-Tip.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned them. I'm going to listen to that later. Left Forever. Yeah. Forgot about that tune. Love that one.
Exoplanet Dust. Their first album is still my favorite. That's way back in the day. Exoplanet Dust is real slow and dreamy. But it's got before they turned into Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, back to what we we're talking about. Yeah, I didn't mean to segment into that, but yeah, is the time now to push the button? Is it, or do you say, you know what, let's wait because it's this late. Obviously, you know, it's not like they've been just sitting around the office, just like, you know, playing like, you know, Sudoku or something like that. They've actually,
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
You read my mind.
So like, but all the same, is it time or is it would you say no, let's just wait till the summer if we're going to use this money? If we are able to use this money, let's use it for that portion. Is that so? I know. Let's just go around the horn here. Brian, what's your feelings on that one?
No, I'd be, you know, like when they're in the fighter plane and they got the finger on the button, but they put the push back the little plastic lid that they put back over it when they realized no, we're not going to push it.
Yeah,
I think we've done that. I think we've put the cover back on the button. Maybe we spoke a lot about we get a phone call telling us that look, I know you're looking at Lucho in the summer, but he's in a hotel with the Tottenham guys right now talking about a contract. So if you want to do it, you might want to get over here now.
Right.
We've done that
like
before.
The agent saying like, look, our player prefers your choice. Similar to what I heard, similar to what I hear is going on with Mateus. What's his last name? Mateus.
Cunha?
No, the Bayern Munich player.
Tell.
Yes, Mateus Tell.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's getting, you know, he's got the offer out there, but if Manchester United or Arsenal were to say, hey, you know what, we can match it, or we can maybe even
show and tell. Raise the offer, show and tell, raise the stakes.
Batistu's going to
I know. Don't worry. We got that as a segment coming up.
Is that Tal guy is Tottenham? I heard Tottenham might get him.
That's what I just said. Yeah. Right now, Spurs.
Yeah, he was Tottenham. Yeah,
he's technically quote unquote possibly Spurs bound, but it's being reported that, or at least there's been some speculation that if Manchester United, who was looking at him, also even Arsenal that is inquiring about him, maybe then. And we got our Spurs aficionado in the chat, by the way. Big up.
He's happy tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Our David.
Come on, you Spurs. He's in there.
I got you. Big up, Max. Big up.
Him and Gittins, Tal and Gittins can do a job. You know the Gittins guy from Dortmund.
Yeah.
Tal.
Yeah.
I'll take them both. I'll tell you the truth, they're both good.
I don't think we need them.
I guess that's not.
That's
not. Yeah. To each is their own, I guess, on that one. Okay. So I guess it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know, like if you would do that, but that's all I was just trying to add. I'm sorry to cut across you, Brian.
No, I think it's like because like Bernie said, it's like it's super difficult to. It's fine, right? It's cool if you're in seventh, right, and you're having one of those what people call like transition seasons or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, excluding the last minute kind of step in. Look, I know you want this car, but someone else is here with 50 grand for it. If you want it, it's yours, but you gotta be here quick, or else they're gonna sell it to this guy. You've got first dibs. He won't, you know, it's so just either put up or shut up because he is going to join Tottenham. I don't think there's any of those in the fire right now, but we didn't know about Diaz. But yeah, it's like Bernie saying, when you try to bring in a guy, you're in seventh place, right? You can bring him in January. Look cool, get up to speed. Doesn't matter. We're kind of doing nothing this season, motoring along. We're in a title race. Like slot isn't rotating, so
there'll be a lot of pressure on that player to hit the ground.
Yeah, it'd be so hard to get up to speed. Like you brought someone in tomorrow, takes them a week to come in, a couple of weeks to settle down, the family's moving over, or whatever it might be. All that nonsense. He's living in a hotel, he's not settled, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, it's March.
Right, and then on top of that, even add the price. You know, the pressure that the price tag always asserts towards whatever player that you bring in. You know,
but Diaz came in and hit the ground running. Diaz did come in and hit the ground running. The laws be one, but I mean, it's just like, is it something that you absolutely, definitely 100% need right now? It's like, if you know that the guy you want, you're going to get him in the summer, I don't think there's a reason to, like you say, push the ball.
Yeah, January transfers can be a bit iffy. they don't always work out, do they? Like sometimes it's just like desperation moves, aren't they, by clubs, and we're not in a desperate position, so don't think we're gonna do anything desperate, are we? Unless there's somebody that we really, really want who's available at the same price now we would be in the summer. I don't think we're gonna move.
Okay. Well, let's see. How's the chat feeling about that? Does the chat want to make the move now?
Really.
Are they so antsy that they had not a lot?
Yeah. Not a lot,
Based on
really.
if we did.
I know that's what I heard
KJ's
too.
saying,
I heard the whole like 5 p.m. thing too. Okay, good.
Yeah, KJ was saying this time last year we was all moaning about how we missed Mo and Endo because they did have those 2 tournaments. But he's saying he's happy to wait till the summer. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anybody that's saying no, we need to get it done. I don't know. Well, sorry, from the chat.
I know
Abdul's
Abdul's got
holiday.
he's got that on repeat.
Know.
Get a CDM.
Yeah,
Abdul's got a shopping list.
yeah.
Yeah, he's out.
I don't know about the he was on holiday thing. I don't know.
He's got a list as long as we are as well.
There was the report that or at least I mean it's for take it for what it's worth, because I mean it was just a Twitter tweet about it and didn't have a actual journalist or anything like that associated with the tweet, but it was something on the lines of saying that he was at 5 after 5 p.m. he was out the door and he's off to Italy or something like that for his leave or something. I'm like, no, I seriously doubt that.
The 2 main items at the top of my shopping list are Salah and VBD. We have to get these guys re-signed. I've noticed some of our fans are panicking now. I was looking at the comment section on something like, and we were talking about the money and that, and someone was saying like, do you think we're not going to offer Salah a new contract at all now because of his age? I mean, I don't think that's true. It better happen be fucking true. Like, but people are actually thinking that now. I was reading it before.
Yeah, it depends. I guess it depends on what he actually. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna bring up KJ's statement.
To give him 350 grand a week at his age now with a new contract. I reckon we will though. Hopefully, I mean, he'd take less than that. Do you reckon? Do you reckon Mo would take like 300 or 280 over like?
That's a good question. It's a good question. I would love to be Mohamed Salah's agent, but I am not. So if he needs a new agent, holler at your boy.
Negotiations. We probably already offered him 280, and he said no. That's why it's taken so.
If he needs a new agent,
would we go lower? You know,
there is report. There has been.
He's still worth 350.
Yeah, there has been a report out there.
Yeah, I'd give him the 350, but I'm not fucking John W. Henry or Tom Werner.
Yeah. There was a report that we did possibly offer a new contract, but we offered him a contract at a somewhat reduced number of what he's currently making, to kind of tighten up our wage. But
I reckon that would be into it because he wants to stay. You know it when you hear him speak. You can see it in the man's face. He wants to stay, and he's not money driven. I know he isn't, and I reckon if they offered him a decent enough contract, it might not be 350, but over 3 years, say like, I don't know, 315. You know what I mean? Offer him a 315 because it's $5 grand less than 320.
Yeah.
Well, there's a saving there for John and Tom, isn't there? There's a saving for them there.
We got our master accountant in the house, Lee, as well. I see, getting deep into the books.
Lee in the numbers.
Getting the figures.
No numbers getting past Lee on that one. I know what'll make him budge. I got you, Lee.
I'm not really that good at maths. I suffer from an acute case of dyscalculia, which means I cannot count properly.
Oh, okay.
All right, step out there for a sec.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Robert.
Big up, Robert. Yeah, it is funny because like there's the statement that, you know, to think that Schmacka was pulled off all our midfield rebuild from the beaches of Ibiza.
Yeah, well, he didn't really. He only pulled off one. The others were done by Klopp.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, George, clueless, sitting there drinking German
Wow.
beers with Klopp.
I don't know about that one. That's the opinion of Nolante on that one. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He weren't great. I'm sorry.
George Clueless. Where did you make that one up yourself?
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry. He weren't great.
Don't let him hear you that. He'll probably smack you on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
bit of a schmacker, is he? I will schmacker him
I
back.
heard he got a good smacker on him.
I'll
respect
schmacker
the
him back.
Oh, God,
I
his
respect
name
the
was so
craft.
hard to spell when we first got him. Just in comment streams, when you're trying to spell his name properly, you're like, it took ages before I got it right.
Mhm.
Yeah, but for
Yeah,
me, he was there when we got the midfield we got right now. That's doing really well. He was involved in that.
Yeah.
But
So he did
JK,
his
you
thing,
weren't.
man.
Nah, he didn't. Not for me.
Bro,
So,
we don't know what the talks are. Who says what? Who says hi? Who says bye? Whatever. We don't know any
Yeah.
of that business, and I think a lot of fans sort of think they do. It's not just us guys. Sometimes we make up situations up what we don't even know if it's real. And I think sometimes we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Schmatka was there. Was he partying in Ibiza at the same time? Maybe. But at the end of the day, the midfield he brought in when he was at the club with Klopp is what we've got right now. Happy days.
Yeah.
So he did
Yeah.
his fair share.
Yeah.
He got McAllister for 35 million.
I tended to say, like, because I don't have, like, I'm not an ITK like that, I tend to say, you know what, I'm going to, give credit to where credit's due. If that's the person that's, holding the chef hat when the meal comes out, I'm going to give credit to the chef, Hey, you're the one that gave the final thumbs up before it came from the kitchen to the table. So,
You know what I would love if we win everything this season, that he gets a T-shirt with I made that midfield, or I signed that midfield.
oh, that's
Like a T-shirt.
Oh,
George Schmutka.
I know
that's
Milante's, yeah, I guess Milante's head's
no, please don't. Please don't give him
there's like
that. No.
steam
No,
coming
no, I
from
don't
it.
want to take off
He's-
you.
It was the T and
One-
Smacker that threw me off when I attempted to spell it when we first got him. I kept omitting the T and getting it wrong. There's the T between the D and the K.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad name.
Yeah.
Easy spelling that.
Mm-hmm.
But I reckon he did
said,
okay.
yeah.
Whoever brought them guys in.
Okay, no, okay. Finish your comment, JK, and then Nolante, you can respond.
What's his link to Ibiza?
No, just saying,
May I ask
I'm
that?
happy that they got them guys in. Lee's me, man. Lee wants to. He's not
Yeah,
talking
I
to
know.
JK. He's my lawyer.
Lee wants
He's
the
my lawyer.
spelling bee
Okay,
to
Lee, go
start right now.
Lee, you should start your own show, Lee. Honestly, Lee, do your
Boys?
content show, Lee.
Going
We'll
to
help you out. We'll help you, Lee.
I'm going to talk all over him. Don't worry about that.
No, I just don't know what he's got to do with Ibiza. Does he live in Ibiza or something? Is that what it is, George Smacker?
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the
Maybe
link?
maybe he's into raves. I have no idea. I have no
Listen,
idea.
He's
yeah.
probably a party guy, but he knows his
No,
football players. You know
yeah.
what
I mean, like, hey, I hear
Oh.
techno is big in Germany. Maybe he's like techno.
Yeah. I think the Wenger boys were
I
from
heard that
Germany.
about this.
Either Germany or Holland, the Wenger boys.
He's like,
No. Yeah, no, Lee. No.
Yeah, he's Wenger boys.
JK.
I can imagine him.
JK. Get this show back on the road, JK.
Yeah,
Get it back.
JK. Yeah, you said about George.
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank
schmacker.
you. Yeah. Oh man.
But it's his
Well,
midfield
fun,
that
man.
will win us the league. Always remember that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of,
We can call this midfield the Wenger boys for you, okay? How about that?
The
speaking-
Wenger boys featuring Noel Gallagher.
Goodness gracious. Speaking of transfers and possible signatures or possible moves, let's get into this next segment right here, and that is Mohamed Salah has once again been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, with the Saudi sports minister apparently directly stating that the deal could definitely, quote unquote, happen. Should Liverpool be concerned is the biggest question of it. And I'll ask this of Nolante: is there a real chance of Salah leaving in the summer? Because it's not going to happen in January. Let's get that out of people's
No.
heads. So is there a real chance of Salah leaving in the summer in your mind?
You know what? I'm just going to be real. There's few footballers that play that are principal over the club over money, and Mo is one of them. Saudi could offer him flipping. They could have 100 million. He wouldn't go, but he's happy at where he's at. So yes, of course, there's a chance he can go out worried because we're still no closer. So yes, if we don't do a job, he can. Yeah, I am concerned, but it's more down to Hughes and Edwards. That's the concern. It's down to us rather than Saudis. I don't think he cares about Saudi. He wants to stay at the club. So it's more down to he's kind of admitted it. So it's down to us. And if we don't do the job, oh my god, there's going to be warfare at FSG. And even if he does leave, I don't think he'll go to Saudi personally.
Mate, people look on the streets will tell you that. Like if they,
Yeah.
they let
It's
him
down
leave,
to us.
someone has
This
to
is
be
the key.
on the streets.
Yeah. It's down to us. So yes, just to answer, I am concerned, but not really mainly for Saudi. It's more down to FSG and the directors of getting this contract sorted.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows it's going to happen. It's going to happen, the new contract, isn't it? You can see it in his body language, his interviews, just the way he is. We know he's not particularly driven by money. He wants to win more trophies, more big trophies, and he's going to win them here. So it's going to happen. But I understand some of our fans who were worried, like, because I was looking at some stuff before, like, you know, people were saying, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to give him a contract at all. But it's not going to happen, is it? I mean, there's no way they could justify not giving him a new contract and still be our owners. I don't know. What could we do to them? But it just wouldn't work, would it? Like, if they didn't give him a new contract, they wouldn't be able to carry on as our owners, would they?
I mean, they could do whatever they want, but I know what you mean.
They can, but if they did that, it'd just be the ultimate sin, wouldn't it? It'd be unforgivable.
Agreed.
And with Virgil as
Agreed.
well. Virgil,
it would be something.
Premier League, like, why wouldn't you re-sign him?
Yeah. No frost on my car. My car is. I parked my car in my garage, so luckily I do not have any frost on my car. That's the answer to Dara, and I'll ask this then. I'll ask this of JK. Do you think that Liverpool should entertain a January move, or is that completely off the table? If it means, obviously, to get a move, they would have to go up, despite it being only, despite him being in the last portion of his contract or last year of his contract, they would still have to offer a staggering number. Would you, if they came in and said, we're going to give you, hypothetically, they're not going to say this number, but let's say they came in and said, we're going to give you, go over the number that they tried to offer us last year, and they say, hey, we're going to give you 200 million. Or is a January move completely off the table, JK?
For me, it's weird. Like, most of just popped up on the TV, German channel, like they're playing live. That is mad, bro. That is mad. No, he's there again. He's celebrating as well. That is mad because they've shown the game live against Bournemouth live on the German TV. That's mad. Salah was all over it, bro. He's staying, man.
That's the sign. Yeah. That's how you need it.
Yeah. He's staying, man. Come on.
He checked out his astrological sign,
he loves it here. Like, he's buzzing off it, and he knows it's going to continue. He knows the contract's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. It's a done deal.
But he looks like a happy guy when you think about it. I think if he was really stressed about this topic, he would not be performing as good as he's been doing. It happens, stress sort of ruins your game sometimes. He's a strong character. I think he's going to end up staying. For me, even if he's like half what he's doing this season, next season, I'm happy with that.
There's no chance he'll be doing half of what he's doing this season. Next season, he'll be doing at least 80% of it still next season.
Next season.
33, 34, he'll be doing 80% of it. So it's a no-brainer.
I'll be happy with that.
It is the dictionary definition of a no-brainer to re-sign the man.
Think about this, bro. In whatever he's involved in, the Premier League, Champions League, all that, he's in a semi-final of the League Cup. He finished top of the Champions League table. He's top of the Premier League table. He's top of the goal scoring in the Premier League table, and he's the highest assist maker in the Premier League as well. This guy is living it. Why would he want to change
that's
that?
what he's got. He's got over a lot of the other guys who are high up on the list of the goal scoring list. Didn't make anywhere near as many assists as he did as well. So that's what he's got going for him on the all-time list, is he's got so many assists as well as goals, which a lot of his rivals at the top of that list, he didn't make anywhere near the amount of assists that he's made.
Lee, you were saying like that if they don't sign, like they're kind of out, or that kind of thing. Like I don't think there's any doubt they have offered him a contract. So if they can sit there and say, we offered him a contract. Now, these aren't realistic numbers, right? Let's just say that they said our max is 200 grand a week, 2 years. Now, just forget the number, but they say our max is 200 grand a week and 2 years. There's a contract. And he says, no, my minimum is 350 grand a week and 3 years. Like, we offered him a contract. They can say we offered him a contract. That was what they were prepared to offer. But if he's also got a number that's a minimum to him, which he will have, so I think they will definitely.
That information came into the public domain that we offered him a contract of only 200 grand a week.
Yeah, but I did say ignore the number. I tried to say ignore the numbers. Well, I did say the numbers were purely hypothetical. Okay, so let's just say our minimum is 380 grand a week, 2 years. Mm-hmm. And he says, no, he wants 500 grand a week in 3 years. That's to make more realistic then. We'll say we'll go all the way to 380, but it's 2 years. Because that's what people are saying now. It's not about money. It's basically he wants a longer deal. But this is all drip feed from one side.
Strange one, because he's going to get loads of money when he leaves anyway, isn't he? Regardless of when he leaves, he's going to be able to go to Saudi then, and then go to the MLS probably or something, if he can be asked. You know what I mean? So there's loads of money still in it for him, isn't there?
No, just quickly. No, the point I'm trying to make is I don't think he will be able to walk away from the club and people say, why did you leave? He said, they never offered me a new contract. That won't be. Is all I'm saying. He will have been offered a deal of some kind.
Yeah, I'm quite confident that the people we've got behind the scenes can't fuck this up. I mean, you'd have to be an absolute idiot to fuck this up, like, you know what I mean?
Dropping F-bomb. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, kids maybe watching this, man.
Yeah. No, Lee, but we hear you. We hear you, Lee.
Yeah.
I hear you.
On Virgil, you'd have to be an idiot to fuck the Virgil contract up as well. Surely it ain't that hard. They can't be asking that much. They can't be asking that fucking much, can they?
Yeah.
No, Lee, as the inside man, the Liverpool inside man, do you know any more info, Lee? Any closer to the source, Lee?
No, mate. I might as well be 1,000 miles away from the place. None at all.
No problem, Lee. Keep us updated, Lee. You're the Liverpool inside man. You're the info.
What's the talk down the bookies?
Yeah. Yeah. I know you got your contacts at Anfield. Keep us in the loop.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, I guess if he were to leave, let's say in the summertime,
inside lines and that, couldn't I? Like some other content creators do, pretend that they know the word, like from Anfield and that, like, because they're quite close to the source, but they don't actually know what they're talking about. I could actually lie, couldn't I, and pretend that I've heard things.
There are quite a few.
Like, see how far I can get, like, before people call bullshit on it. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
There are some content creators out there that claim to know.
I heard that Alonso had signed his deal. That was a done deal. I heard that Endo had signed for Inter Milan. That was a done deal. I've heard some weird stuff, mate. I've heard a lot of weird stuff online, mate.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying. As in, and a lot of those same content creators will act as if they never said the previous. They'll just keep it moving as if the train goes on. They're just like, got past that, stop, Next stop, BS Central. Let's go. And then they drop some more on you. So that's why you got to be careful about some of the sources, because none of us are really that ITK as we would like to think. We all read somewhat similar. It's just more so some of us are just a little bit more in tune with reading a lot more than others, and possibly that's all. But we're here to do whatever we can to try to enlighten each other and bring out the truth out of whatever it is that we can. So that's why we are here.
Can I just share a family story from Anfield that might make you laugh? My mum and my stepdad went for the tour of Anfield, and you go in and go in the boot room and all that, and you have like a cup of tea in there, and they had like loads of these cups, and they were like, it was the main of it was white with some like red on, sort of like faded red on the front. And my mum put it in her bag and brought it home to ours, like, and it used to be in our kitchen, the Anfield cup, and you could have a cup of tea out of the Anfield cup. My mum would be mortified if she knew and told that story, because she did take a cup from Anfield and bring it home, and it was in our kitchen, the Anfield cup, and you could have a cup of tea out of it, like.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
What about coffee? Just tea.
Yeah, the Anfield.
You couldn't have coffee.
Yeah, I used to use it loads. It was when I was a kid. I used to use it loads, and it was good. I thought it was a great thing. Like, this was a cup that was from, and it was from Anfield. Like, they went for the tour of Anfield. Mum brought a cup home. It was in our kitchen.
Oh boy!
Yeah. On the TV again.
Okay, 12. Yeah, sorry. Next subject. What were you going to say? 12.
Yeah.
It's good something to say. Yeah.
Let me figure out what I was going to say. Yes, summer. I was going to say if let's hypothetically say, okay, we're in the hypothetical world. We're not saying that we want this player to leave. Obviously, I think the majority of us want him to stay. We want to figure out a way to get him to stay. What that is neither here nor there. That's not what I'm asking about. But I'm just saying, if he were to leave, do you think, and I know that we all say the same things about, there are players come and go, like as in there are going to be players that at some point, some of our favorite players, some of our beloved players, some of our, players that we like or dislike or whatever are going to leave this team one way or another. If he were to leave in the summertime, not in January, obviously, because, when we were saying that, the first thought that came to my mind was like I'm not going to say the exact quote, but Dave Chappelle, when he's like, "I'm rich," and the horn honks, and he does, and that kind of gets there because that's what he would be. He's already rich, but he would be beyond generationally rich, if he were to take an exit to go to Saudi Arabia at the moment. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think any player in their right mind would leave a team that's in first place in the Premier League, first place in the Champions League, and you're an integral star of that team. Chances of you saying, "Okay, I'm going to bounce," is probably next to nil. But with that said, if he were to leave, could Liverpool realistically replace him, or possibly do we already have a replacement in the works right now in our current lineup? Do we possibly even have a replacement in the current lineup?
For who? Who is it you say?
For Salah. For Mo Salah.
Salah. It's Chiesa, isn't it, at the moment? Chiesa's the man, isn't he? He's the one that we want, like, if we've got no Mo.
Mm-hmm. Again, and this is why I want to make sure I get this, like, apparently through. There are parts about the stuff that we do talk about. We might not be ITKs, but some of us do have a pretty decent knowledge base. So that's why I think a lot of you guys do tune in. That's why I hope that a lot of you do value what we have to say on the panel as much as we value what you have to say in the chat. And when it comes to, the coffers of what we have to get players in and the likes, I just spoke on that earlier in the segment about the sheer fact that we just, by us advancing in the Champions League, we have over 83 million pounds going to be put into the coffers for this summer's transfers. Okay. If they wanted to, they could possibly even, figure out some accounting ways to say, well, we know we have 83 million coming to us in the summer, so we can take a little bit more of a heavier loss in the January market if we wanted to. Say they could possibly do something like that. That's not here nor there for me with the accounting books, but sometimes I get what people are trying to say, but I'm just saying, but before you start trying to do the whole like agenda things out there, take a breath, hear what we have to say, and then evaluate what you want to contribute. So with that said,
for me, they're pocketing like money
with that
straight.
said,
With that said, like, thank you, thanks, Slot and the boys. Like, they are not even thinking about strengthening the team to finish the season off on a high. As me, look, if you was John Henry right now, 12, not a big fan of football, you just know you know a bit of ball. You yourself would say, you know what? They probably need another guy in that midfield. A bit like Gravenberch. Who else is in there? Like, you got to know at least that about football. Like John Henry, we've had this discussion before. John Henry needs to look at the football and say, you know what, that Gravenberch lad, when he's not on the pitch, like who's there? Endo, okay. But don't you reckon we need another set of legs in there? Just for the squad, just in case. Like, that's the type of owner I would like. So for me, he's not looking at football like in that way. He's thinking, okay, ting ting, the money's come in now.
Right.
We'll have that. Thank you. That's my opinion.
Right. And okay. I do have I see some of the stuff going on in the chat. I do have a response to it, but does anyone else want to chime in before I do?
On a Mo replacement, I mean, you don't replace a Mo. You evolve.
Some of what I was about to say. I got you.
I quite like Diaz on the right when Diaz had to play when Mo was at AFCON last year and Diaz played on the right. It was quite good under Klopp.
So let Brian finish his point, Lee.
Yeah. I'll come to you, Lee. You can definitely chime in. Just let Bryce finish, and then I'll come to you next. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Look, it's pretty much what do? You bring in someone that does stuff, you spread it around. It's like, oh, how do you replace that guy? It's just just past Thierry Henry in the freaking goal scoring charts. It's like, look, we adapt, we you evolve and you do stuff. You just do different things. Like someone like Gakpo this year really starting to pick up the baton goals wise, but it's like it's going to be tough. Of course, it's going to be tough, but he's not going to be here in 2 years. It's not like, oh, he's 23 now.
Right.
Even if he did stay, he's not going to be here in 2 years when he's 35. So it's, we're at the second to last stop in the station, if not the last stop. So we do need to be ready for this to happen. But like I always, maybe it's a sop, maybe it's a comfort blanket, but every time I say it, it's like, we've lost Owen, we've lost Fowler, we've lost Gerrard, we've lost Dalglish, we've lost Rush.
Right,
Zuma,
exactly. Yeah.
Legends. And always gone on and done more and done better. So it may sting, the plaster being ripped off, but into the next time some guy comes on and bangs hat-trick, people be like, that Mo guy, he was okay, but his first touch wasn't great. We all know how it goes. So look, it's going to happen eventually. I'm around too long to not know that it's going to happen.
Right, yeah, there's some
simple.
saying that already, by the way. So I got what you're saying.
I think that's a little defense as well. I think that's a little defense.
Right.
But you could imagine if, like I just said, but finally, the mentality on this would be incredibly different. Like I say, if he was 29 and he was going to Madrid, the way that Trent is going to Madrid, we're just looking at this go, oh, well, if he does leave, but we're always assuming off to the sunset of Saudi Arabia or off to wherever.
MLS, maybe MLS. Yeah.
Could you imagine if we knew he was leaving, and if he was leaving, it's Real he's going to?
That's
or it was even, that would have been worse. At least now it's
right. Or maybe even like something like Manchester City or something like that.
Oh well, I didn't even want to go down that road, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Lee,
he hasn't got it in him to do that sort of move. No.
He knows his legacy would be absolutely like.
He knew where his bread's buttered.
Yeah, it would like go up in a burst of flames if he did something like that. But what did you want to chime in with, Lee?
Just get the Salah and Virgil signings done. It's taking too long. It's causing me pain now. It's causing me pain.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Lante, did you want to say something before I go on? And
just briefly about your question about Mo, replaceable. I mean, like I think all of us in the chat and the panel, Mo is irreplaceable.
Right.
But
I want to make sure.
Exactly. Which I know you're just saying it hypothetically at the point. But if you were to get a player, in my opinion, the one that we're closer to Mo that could not be numbers, maybe a little bit in the future would be I would be Saka. I think Saka is a very good player. Saka, Rodrigo. I know some in the chat. I just think Rodrigo is a little bit overrated personally. Saka or my guy named Brother Kudus. So those are the two in the ideal world if Mo were to hypothetically leave. But we pray and we hope, cross our fingers, that we'll see Mo with a contract saying for 2028.
There's always an afterlife.
There's always
players leave, but the worst hole and vacuum that was ever left when fucking Souness left in '84. It allowed Everton to win the league in '85. We didn't replace Souness. It was only when Steve McMahon came in, that we replaced him properly. And that was a gaping hole that when Souness left. Kevin McDonald, we even had him in central midfield. Part of the double winner in the FA Cup final side and that, but Kevin McDonald. Well, he had a mustache like Souness, but he's a very tall. He was Scottish as well, got him off Leicester, very tall guy. That was a vacuum, it took us 2 seasons. How long? Let me thinking out. It took us 3 seasons to sort that out, the Souness gap. And Everton got 2 championships out of it. Everton got 2 titles out of it. Howard Kendall's team was really good, though. It was a good Everton side, in the mid-80s. And they've still won more league titles than Chelsea. Let's never forget that.
No, it's never. I was going to just, I guess, accent what I was saying. Obviously, big up to Lante, because that's what, I know sometimes you do have to, unfortunately, restate things or make sure it's clear that you're not saying that, this is going to be a replacement or this guy is. Obviously, we think that those kinds of numbers are certainly next to irreplaceable, as in the player is certainly a player that is an absolute living legend for the club and is a play. And when you talk about legends, you don't replace legends. You just, if
Talking
anything,
of legend, for Joe Fagan to get us to the European Cup final that year after we'd won the treble and Souness left was a fucking miracle. That bollocks that happened at Faisal, do you know what I mean? If that wouldn't have happened, mate, we'd have easily beat them. I know it, mate. I know it in my soul. I know it in my heart, in my soul, we'd have fucking beat them. And that fucking shit that UEFA done putting their fans in our end.
You guys are going heavy on the F-bombs today. I got you. Yeah. Okay. Easy now.
I know.
Let's not get too dark. There's no need for eyes.
Lee, we're gonna help you create your YouTube channel, mate. Honestly,
that much into graffiti when I was a kid, but the day after that Heysel thing happened, I wrote some nasty things.
I got the title for you.
About what happened and that because I thought it was funny.
It'll be the title for Lee's channel be Lee F-bomb Carlson.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, A to Z. If I
my spelling,
a picture of Lee and a big bomb with the letter F on it just being dropped next to him. I mean,
exactly,
hey,
bombs away.
F-bombs away. We good.
Yeah.
But apparently EYA dash.
Yeah, Lee, I don't think you want to bring that up, mate.
No,
Sorry,
no,
Lee.
no.
Go. Well, let's move on to the next bit.
Yeah, I was just going
You
to
know
bring
what?
up.
The year before Heysel, our fans were battered trying to get out of that stadium. Loads of them got cut up and bricks slashed and all
Oh,
that.
no,
No
no,
one
no.
died though, so no big deal was
Yeah.
made of it. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Mm.
like there was loads of photos of Liverpool fans with their heads bleeding, sitting on a
Oh,
coach.
no,
And that,
dude,
like,
yeah.
when they tried to
That's
get
just
out of
not.
that fucking stadium in Rome in '84, mate, loads of our fans got battered. But because no one
I know.
died, it wasn't no big deal on like, you know what I mean? And the next year, it happens. They put us in this old shitty decrepit stadium, like the fucking, you know, it just wasn't fit for service, like, and then they put away fans in our end. I mean, it's
Mm.
UEFA, that bollocks as well at the Paris final as well, where they try to start blaming our fans. UEFA are a
Well,
seedy
Lee, yeah,
organisation.
Lee, yeah. Well, we can discuss that. That's a horrific sight, and it's also, you know, a horrific situation. We can certainly bring up. That's
There was
something
an
that
event
probably.
on the pitch.
Lee.
Yeah,
That's
can
probably
I just
something.
say this? Sorry, before there was a Juventus fan on the pitch with a gun. He must have been one of their ultras. Like, it was one of the best bits of the footage. The footage you seen, there was like people in sunglasses and that, and like the wall had fell down. And then you seen people on the pitch, and there was this Juventus fan with a gun. I don't know if it was a real gun, but there was a Juventus fan with a gun on the pitch, mate. It just made me laugh.
Okay.
Hey, Mark. How you doing, mate?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
let's change it.
there's certainly time and place for that.
Yeah.
That's something.
Everyone, a lot of Liverpool fans have been supporting Liverpool for a long time. Like,
Lee.
I seen it when I was like
Lee.
11 or 12.
Lee. I don't want to do it, but
Lee.
Let's just.
There's definitely that deserves a whole segment or whole episodes show to itself, and we can certainly, you know, speak on that and show proper respect and the likes for the subject. But
they're nuts. They're bad fans are nuts. Like they.
Oh no, Lee.
Oh,
yeah,
no, Lee.
Try to bring it back.
Any fights in Europe, like
no. I know, but Lee, let's change the subject to let's change. No, we understand positive. Yeah, let's keep it positive, Lee. We know Heysel is a terrible thing. Let's not go there. We'll do it another time. Yeah, let's keep it positive for the next about the team right now. Yeah,
sorry.
That's all right. It's all right, Lee.
No, I was just going to accent the part and point that we were speaking on. And what's interesting is that we're speaking on a player in Salah that is certainly irreplaceable. We all agree on that in the sense of he is an incredibly immense talent and also someone that is a living legend. However, when he came to the team, he was not at that level that he is at currently with us. We can all agree on that as well, I think, correct? With that said,
when Mo arrived,
it wasn't like he was at it wasn't like people are talking about, you know, is he sitting at a table of Henri type conversation?
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
But he got there pretty quick.
He definitely got there pretty quick.
44 goals. Like, Jesus, what are we both?
Okay. Yeah. But the part and point of why I'm bringing this up is because we've spoken about the fact that normally Liverpool does not go out and buy superstars in the sense of we don't transfer in superstars. We make superstars. So with that said, you know, would Mohamed Salah have reached the levels that he would have reached at another team or another place? Who knows? I'm not necessarily, you know, in that dimension with that different timeline, being able to tell yes or no. But with that said, again, is it about maybe not necessarily finding the next current Salah at that level, but the next possible Salah that can be created from our system of making players into superstars? Couldn't it be a little bit more selective on our approach towards trying to find that player? Or is it in your minds, no, we have to have 150, like as Trudon was spouting out about, we got to have 150 million pound player like Isak or Rodrigo as the player that is possibly the successor towards our right wing solution? or is it matter of finding a player that we can allow to be groomed into that superstar? What is your opinion on that? And I'll go to Lee. I'll let you go first on that one, and you can give us your thought, and then we'll continue for the entire panel. And then I have other questions, obviously, but
on a replacement for Mo.
From what I just posed as being the premise of it.
Do you go big money, or do you buy the next thing for 20, or do we need to go out and spend 150, get
Right.
the finished article kind of thing?
Like, how much did we spend for Salah, Brian? Do you know off the top of your head?
38 million, 36 to 38 million.
And with inflation, what do you think that would be? What do you think that would be related?
Oh, in today's money, it's still only like around 60.
Okay, so
It's not huge,
right?
but
So do you think? So in essence, do you think, Lee, that if you were given that, do you say to the board, hey, you got 60 million to find a player that could blossom into that Salah player, or do you say to the board, hey, we got to drop 100, like we do the Caicedo thing, and we say we got to drop 100 and some odd million for this player right now because we need a player that's going to be at the exact level that Salah is currently?
I'd go with the big money option probably if that was available. I'd get a big player, a player that was certainty. But if we get one for the similar type of fee that we bought Mo for and have them do as good a job, then yeah, I'd also do that.
Okay. How about for when you guys come off of mute, that's when I'll ask you the question. So I'll go to JK. Go ahead.
Like for me, I would. When you look at names, that's the question. It's a tricky question. It's like what I was saying about managers, number 9s. When you really look at the world of football, it's really rich of numbers. It's like every team's got squads, everything. There's a lot of players in the world right now. Quality-wise, it's gone downhill. In the old days, if we needed a manager, there was about 5 guys, 6 guys around the world. You say, he's the guy, or he's the guy. Now, we're like, maybe we can get Alonso. Maybe this guy who just went to Man United, Almiron. That's what level football's at right now. So for me, who are you going to get to replace Salah? The guy's the greatest player in the world right now. For me, he's the best player in the world right now. You can't replace that. And it's going to be the hardest job to replace that. Look at Mane and his sort of situation when he left. Diaz was brought as the Mane replacement. He hasn't done it for me, but he showed glimpses of quality. But he wasn't as effective as Mane. Gakpo's come in now, and it looks like Gakpo's sort of reaching that Mane sort of level of goals, assists, getting in hard for tackles, running back, or whatever it is. So for me, the whole Salah topic is really tricky. For me, I would love for him to stay another 2 years at the club. Why? I think he likes breaking records, and I think he wants to leave England. Maybe that second guy beyond Shearer in that goal-scoring list. Can he get 260 odd? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so. It's too many.
I think he tops out. To me, he tops out at 4th. I think it is. He'll do Lamps this year, and then he can potentially get to Rooney if he stays one more year. But I think whoever is past Rooney, I think it's Aguero maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think he can quite get there, but he'll beat Lampard this year at the rate he's going. And if he stays another year and he does the same kind of stuff, he'll catch Rooney as well, I think, if I remember correct. But I think anything beyond that is kind of, I don't think it's realistic. But yeah, he's still got a couple of places to climb,
Max, the headmaster. DK's not answered the question. It's too hard to replace. So if I'm going youth, people like Doak and stuff, you know. Doak is quality. I really like him. I think he's a top player.
Yeah. He's right now currently Doak is setting the championship on fire, apparently.
You know why, bro? He's getting game time. You know what, football? If he ain't playing, how are you gonna say he's a waste of time, he's this, he's that? Like Kwanzaa, for example, if he's on the bench all the time, how are you gonna say he's a great player? You know, he needs to play games. And I think Doak now, finally he started his football career real properly, you know. And what he's shown in the championship, he's doing fairly well. I'll bring him back next season, see what he can do. But it's just that side of the pitch. Who is there in the world you can go and spend big dough on to go and replace Salah? And that's the trick. Like, look at Bakayoko yesterday, all right? A lot of people said he wasn't great, but his goal was great.
Well, sorry, JK, I'll throw you one I'll throw you a bone. Let's just say Rodrigo at Real, who's right, plays in centre, and he's 120 million. And he's about. Like someone like him, say, or yeah, like you were saying, kind of be some younger guy in Germany, maybe like 30, 40 million. Would you go to Rodrigo route or the younger kid in Germany route?
I will probably want to go the Rodrigo way because of what he's already done. He's a quality player. Is he worth 120 million? I don't think so, but he plays for Real Madrid and he can get that figure. He's quality. He scored last night again. He's one name, for example, but I don't think will let him go. I don't think that.
I'm going to Saudi today, aren't they?
What? Have you noticed?
Yeah,
Saudi
I saw a story about that. So you're trying to buy him today. Well, just Saudi trying to buy everybody, but you know that's the latest one anyway.
I've realised in the last week or so they really put their foot down again. The Saudi Arabian League, with Premier League targets.
Because the English window is closing. Yeah,
just don't do those Saudi
trying to look
games. How many?
But me, I'd go down the cheaper route. Just I go down the cheaper route because I think it's quite funny that like even though UEFA and FIFA are two of the most, let's just say, shady organizations on the planet, quite a few of their former employees have seen the inside of a prison cell anyway, so let's just put it that way. I just think it's so ironic that even with these guys, these rules that they have in place now, especially we don't realize how difficult in Spain. And like if you spend over like $1 more than you're supposed to, or €1 more than you're supposed to, these rules now are biting. They're biting real hard. You know, we're looking at stuff going, yeah, we've got this or that, but we just can't go and do this.
I went a bit before about the idea that the European ban after Heysel was only because Heysel was a fuck. Liverpool fans had never been involved in anything like that in all our time playing in Europe. Before that, it was clubs like Man United, fucking Leeds fans, Chelsea fans, fighting with other fans in Europe. I think the idea was actually conceived in Manchester to like ally football to violence or some shit, like, because they got relegated in 1974. And then when they got back up again, they get into Europe and that, like, and start fighting with other fans. So Manchester, you can have that one. You can take that one. You invented that nonsense.
Okay. All right. And
I've just got to say, Dennis Law was a good player. Shankly had him at Huddersfield, and but like he went from Huddersfield to Man U, and I do like all the old Man U players, the good ones, and that, like Bobby Charlton. I did used to laugh at him a lot when I was a kid, the hair, the comb over, and that, like. But he was a tremendous player. He's an icon of football. He's a really nice fella. He was a really nice man as well at the same time. Bobby Charlton, like, and his relationship with Shankly made me laugh when I've heard some of the stories about like him. And he said some fella like was in his garden knocking on the window, and Bobby Charlton's wife said, "There's a strange man knocking on the window," and it was Bill Shankly. He found out where Bobby Charlton lived and was knocking on his back window and that, like, because he wanted to come in and talk football. And Bobby Charlton's wife said, "There's a strange man knocking on the window, Bobby."
I know the name of Lee's channel, Lee Carlson. Look down memory lane.
Yes.
Look
There are,
down
like
memory
you
lane.
said, some of us aren't ITKs, but there are some of us that are ITKs that have the inside dirt of how of a little peek behind the veil of what's going on.
Yeah, I like them little funny like bits of the stories and that. Like Shankly was so desperate to go somewhere and talk football. He's just everywhere he went. He wants who's going to talk football with. He wants, all right, I'll go and knock Bobby Charlton out of bed. Is Bobby up yet? Mrs. Bobby, is Bobby up yet? I want to talk football.
Right, Lee, we're gonna sort you out after this. We'll speak. We'll sort out. But
Yeah.
You keep Lee. You need it. You need it, Lee. You need it.
I was going to let's move on to another segment that I have lined up for us, and the next segment, because I had a couple other questions about Salah, but I want to make sure that I get all the segments in before we run out of time. So. There was a report about Stefan Bajcetic's loan move that the big question is what went wrong with it. Stefan Bajcetic's loan spell at RB Salzburg didn't go as planned, as he will now spend the second half of the season, at Las Palmas. My question to the panel, or at least I'll just take individuals for these individual questions at least. Let's start with Nolante on this one. Is Las Palmas the right decision for Stefan Bajcetic, or would it maybe be better for him to just come back to the team? Or what's your thoughts on that?
No, it's right. It's right for him. He needs game time to the end of the season. Look, he started in and out of Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg, and then obviously results weren't going their way. And Pep is gone, and the new manager just does not fancy him at all. So it was just up and down. He started okay, but they're just up and down in terms of the bench. So yeah, I don't think. I mean, Slot is definitely not going to use him. So it's best for him to play for Las Palmas to the end of the season, get his games, and then in the summer reassess. I think with Bajcetic, he's kind of a little bit becoming the forgotten man. In a sense, I know we're focusing on other players, but we forget how highly rated good he was before. Unfortunately, the growing pains and the hormone treatment, And I believe if given the chance, I mean, again, maybe we do need a DM, or maybe we can save, because he's a quality player. He's a very, very intelligent player. But again, I just hope for game time, and then in the summer we'll reassess. I hope Slot doesn't sell him, but who knows? It's going to be a critical time in the summer for him.
He's not forgotten in my heart, Nolante. He's not forgotten in
I know that.
I know, Brian. No, I know.
Hope is
Two others,
still
don't
there.
you?
The poster is still on the wall. The hope is still there.
My favourite Charlton is when he tried to pronounce the name Mistolovic. Sorry, I've just mispronounced it myself, but it's what I am. The guy was called Savo Milosevic, who used to play for Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah.
Jack was struggling from the get-go, mate, and he kept calling him Missology, and it was Savo Milosevic. I love Jack for that, mate. I'll bow down at your altar. I'll venerate. What's that word? Venerate for that, Jack. I loved it, mate. It was brilliant. Missology.
Another memory lane show. We're gonna set Lee up with that. We're gonna have coronation music at the start.
When Jack Charlton
and Lee's at the end outside the Rovers. Memory lane.
Which I did.
Who's
something Jack, I'm with you, mate. Sorry.
Who's up next on that 112? Who's up next on that?
Yeah. I was going to ask. Brian. Brian, what or no, but I have a question specifically for you. I wanted to ask, but I'll
Oh,
ask this
great.
one.
Oh,
I know. Oh, no,
Right.
it's not a bad
Targeted.
question. No, it's not a bad
Oh,
question.
If we were
Darwin
previously
Núñez.
there, Brian.
I'll ask this of JK. Why do you think Besiktas's time at RB Salzburg didn't work out?
Probably like Pep took him there. He was there with the other lad, Clark. Face didn't probably fit the picture. This, that, and the other. Like, we don't know what goes on, you know. Like, he didn't get no game time really, and he's ended up at Las Palmas now. For me, you know what I would have done? If we are not buying no one, I would have said, lad, come back here. You know, play him in the Plymouth game, play him in that Tottenham game, you know? Why not? So for me, Bajcetic is one guy who I said a few comments ago about Thiago and Bajcetic. They're type of footballers you want to watch because you don't know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? And Bajcetic is one of them guys. I've seen this turn he did back in the days where he just sort of turned his body and took the whole, just cleared his whole path with that just one move he did. And since then, I've said, I like this guy. It was just that move. So I understand Brian where he's coming at. I feel he could have just come back to the club.
I fucking love Bajcetic. If we don't get a career out of him, like, then something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to be gutted. Yeah, I'm going to be gutted. Because for me, he's got it in him, I think, to be quality. I just feel he would have been better if he stayed at the club. Kwanzaa stayed at the club now. He went on loan as well. Conor Bradley, like they're playing for the first team, you know. And I think Bajcetic should be in that group. That's my opinion on that. In that group of the youth sort of players who are on the brink of the first team and who get game time, Kwanzaa, Bradley, Harvey Elliott, Bajcetic should be in that group, 100%.
Okay.
I think the game from last night, the best bit or the most flavoursome moment was Gallagher going up for that corner at the end, and then that fella nearly scored. But I was game for it when he did it. I was like, come on, do an alley, that fucking West Brom thing. Gallagher, Buller's header. You know what? that guy nearly scored. That was brilliant, though. It gave the game because it was boring at the end, and then that bit was just like a gift, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Morton for that, KJ. I think Morton looked okay when he came on yesterday. I was surprised he got a start before McConnell. Yeah, we got Morton for that. But I just think Bajcetic is better than all of them guys. Just the feeling I got.
He's got that class. He's got that touch of class.
Henderson's coming off in the Ajax
McConnell, I
game.
let McConnell too. I let McConnell look classy last night. He looks. He's got the touch. He's got. Yeah, he looks tasty as well.
Like I'll quickly say it. I've got the Ajax game on, and Henderson's coming off the pitch right now, and he's doing a sort of clap, like a goodbye clap.
He's going to Monaco, isn't he? He's joining
Monaco.
Monaco.
That's the news.
Surprise. Big surprise there.
And all the fans they weren't sort of jumping up and down. They were giving a clap like, we know you're going. So we just clap like this. Yeah. That I reckon he's going then. So, well, they're winning today as well, Ajax.
Yeah. They're through. Well, no, I think playoffs, They'll be in the European League playoffs. Yeah, Gala. Yeah, 2-0. Yeah. And they're close to PSV in the league. It's a bit of a surprise, actually.
They're second, aren't they, in the league? Yeah.
Galatasaray were the team that knocked Man United out of Europe 2 seasons in a row when Fergie was first trying to get into the Champions League groove 2 years in a row.
Yeah, Galatasaray have always been there, sort of find. Yeah.
I'll always love that team for that.
Come to hell, as I say there.
Yeah, this was my question for you, Brian. Does this loan move change Liverpool's long-term plans for Bajcetic in your mind?
No. I think it shows that we acted quickly. You know, Bajcetic and they bought Bobby Clark. They paid £8 million for him. So permanent transfer, and then they got the loan with Bajcetic. But clearly there was a Pep Linder's link there, players, he knew them, they knew him. Bobby Clark, obviously a club signing, but I said it's very much this is a player that the manager were bringing in things together. So 9 times out of 10, it happens when a new manager comes in. They like to kind of show that I'm doing my own thing. This to me was a classic new manager casualty of, I don't care. I don't want his loan people. I'm my own guy, There can be a little bit of that involved. So I'm not at all surprised because he was playing quite a lot earlier on in the season, but then his minutes did seem to drop off.
He was.
Yeah, he was a starter basically, and he was playing all the time and in Europe as well. But it's classic kind of a new manager casualty for me. I don't think it says really anything about the player. So I think we've acted quickly and taken him out of somewhere where he's not going to play by the looks of it, or for maybe, and put him somewhere where he will play, and put him in an environment in Spain where he's happy, he's comfortable, and it's just minutes. This kid missed a whole year, not a season. He missed a year with a hip injury. So it's minutes on the pitch, game time, rhythm. Just get this kid back on the pitch, whether it's at Las Palmas or freaking Las Vegas. It doesn't matter. Just send him somewhere where he's going to play every week at a decent level and get him, do what's best for him, then bring him back. Because I think Arne Slot will love a kid of his versatility and his touch on the ball. So, but it's the most important thing now is that we acted fast and we said, look, that's not working out for him there. Let's take him out of that. We got two options here. Which one do you prefer, Stefan? You're both, boom, you want to go there, cool, wrapped up, get it done. Don't hang around, no wasting time, sitting in a hotel for 2 months not playing football. No, quickly.
Right.
So, just get him on the pitch as quickly as possible. Get him playing football. That's what he needs. And then let's see what kind of footballer we get back for a preseason 25-26. And let Arne Slot work with him then. But I still have high hopes for the kid.
Okay. See, it wasn't that bad of a question.
Yeah, no, that was a great question.
I do. For him, like always did since I first seen him. Could see he had something when we first saw him, and he is versatile, as Brian said. So
you can tell quality when you see it. It doesn't always go on to be whatever, but you can tell quality when you see it. And the kid's got silk. The kid is just silky. You can't teach that, and he's got that. So, what it becomes.
And he seems like the club. Seems like the club. Seems like the environment that he has. His teammates and the likes. So it's not like he's yearning like, oh, I want to be out. The only place I'll play is Spain type thing or something, or or yada yada.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah, happy to go and improve himself in foreign countries in different environments.
Right.
Like you say, like he's happy. He's not just sitting there going, he's just okay. I'll do this. Everything about him, like we've talked about so many times, that it was going to be so perfect. It was going to be so perfect. Thiago was going to be fit for his final season, and Bajcetic was going to understudy him, and it was all. And then Bajcetic, and then boom, they both get the same injury in the regular season. It was just the tragedy of that. I'll never forget. We had it all mapped out in my mind. But hey, that's football, isn't it? It gives you a dose of reality every now and again.
Yeah. Yep.
No,
exactly. Sometimes doesn't.
We were talking about Luis Alberto the other day, like what a great player he was or went on to be, but it just didn't happen here. I'm not sure with Bajcetic, but from the gifts that he's got, like being able to play. I'm not having him playing fullback. He can play centre back or one of the midfield positions, but I don't want him a fullback. But it just seems like another one of those things, like that you call an no-brainer, isn't it? Like he's got the talent, but is it going to happen? I don't know. Been here before with other multi-talented midfielders like him.
Sliding doors.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I know I understand what you're saying about you don't necessarily. You might have a preference on not seeing him at fullback, but I think in that one game that he did play fullback in the in Europa, he didn't. He looked good. That was one of the few opportunities we got to see him that year too.
He gave
because he was doing the inverted thing as well.
He
was perfect in it. I thought he looked perfect when he was doing the inverted thing.
Yeah.
He actually looked really good in it.
Because I think he's more of a natural fit towards being a midfielder than possibly
Yeah.
Alexander Arnold.
Yeah,
He started off as a centre half. We started him. We brought him in as a centre half, so he came in as like a young centre back, and then we developed him into a DM, and so he can also play like as a right back. So I thought, I thought he looked brilliant when we were doing the full on Trent inverted thing, and we started him in that game, and he basically tried to beat Trent for a game. I thought he looked brilliant at it. He was like, Jesus, that's literally his best. That's a great spot for that. That's a great shout for that role.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I get all the segments in. So
player for us.
I wanted to make sure I get all the segments in. So there was one other segment. There's actually two other segments I want to do, but this one in particular is a quick and short segment. And that was the PSV manager has some comments, some interesting comments after the game yesterday. Basically, the PSG manager's comments were on showboating against Liverpool, about his team, at least, showboating against Liverpool. The PSV Eindhoven manager, Peter Bos, wasn't happy with some of his players. What he said was showboating. And he said he wasn't happy with some of his players for showboating towards the end of their 3-2 win against us. How do you feel about this criticism? Is it do you think they were showboating in the sense, that when they're doing the olays at the end and the likes, and kind of thinking that they
I endorse these words by Peter Both.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me get to the question then. Obviously we have Lee's stamp of approval. Okay. But I'll ask you, Lee, this question. How about that? We'll start you off with the questions. Should PSV players have been more professional, or was it just part of the game yesterday?
It was part of the game, yeah.
Part of the game.
There's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing I haven't seen before.
Well, I mean, obviously it was something, considering the coach, their own coach. It'd be one thing if our coach said it. It'd be another thing if like pundit or player or someone else outside of the club said it. But that was their own coach talking about his own team players. So this isn't my opinion. This is not, the opinion of someone like that. This is their own coach coming out and saying that he was not happy with the fact that they were trying to, as what his viewpoint was, showboat.
Is his name pronounced Boss or Boss?
Either or.
BOSZ is the spelling. I'm not certain of the pronunciation.
But now they weren't showboating. I don't get it. I watched the match last night, but I don't get it. I'm not sure what he's talking about. But he's talking about there. Don't get it.
Yeah, I like what Robert said too. Yeah, you just know our senior boys were saying at home, if we see you next round, we would show you about showboating. Yeah, no doubt. To have no mercy towards them. Show no mercy.
I think I know what he was trying to do.
Goal was good. That was the work of art, the first goal. The other two were abominations, but the first goal was good.
Go ahead, Brian. You can comment on that too. You have a
follow-up? I think I know what he was trying to do. I think at no point did I think these boys need to stop taking the piss out of us, and I remember, there was a little sequence where they played some kind of little flicksy flicks and little passes, and and I think there was a couple of olays from the crowd. Now, in no way did I think these boys are out here showboating, trying to humiliate our players. I just think they were in the mood. They felt good. But I can understand. It's very rare I heard a manager come out and say that in a scenario like that. But I can understand what he's trying to do, kind of psychologically, kind of saying, are you guys out here taking the piss? It was 3-2. do you think he'll get away with that against big? I think it was kind of a psychological play from the
Yeah.
manager.
Yeah, one of those like, oh, have you had your fun? Y'all done? Yeah, like
Yeah,
if anything,
but they weren't
rather
out
than
there taking.
showboat, why not just continue to like fine tune the system or fine
Yeah,
tune what
yeah.
the game plan was, as opposed to you guys trying to like get on ESPN highlights or something.
Exactly. I think it was more. They weren't trying to do Harlem Globetrotters type thing. They weren't trying to, like I say, take the piss out of us. Look, they were playing well, but I think he was just kind of be the stern kind of. I won't stand for that kind of stuff. So I think it was just a managerial ploy. But it is rare that you actually see a manager come out and accuse his own team
Yeah.
of showboating. But I think it's also a bit of a power play against Liverpool to highlight the fact that his team was showboating against Liverpool. If you get what I'm saying. He's also maybe dropping that seed that, and by the way, because we were kind of so up, it was like, I didn't see them showboating. I didn't see, so there's layers to that. I think it's a very layered comment.
This team that's already won 7 out of 7, we beat them on our own terms. But the average, what was the average age of our team like in the second half?
Yeah, Lante, do you agree with Max? Do you agree with what he has to say here? It's a dig at Slot, not realizing that that's our second team.
Maybe, or maybe he just wanted, I don't know, more control of the game again. And PSV are attacking. I mean, at 3-2, he probably maybe just thought, a little bit showboat and we could counter attack and score. So maybe he wanted more control from his players. He didn't like the showboating. He's still 3-2 at the end of the day. We could have just come out the other end and score. So I think that's what Slot. So maybe I don't think it's a dig at Slot. I don't think so. He's more concerned of his own players, really, because we could have nicked one. That 3-2, I don't think anyone would like the team showboating when there's still a chance for a team going in the game. That's all.
I didn't see it. I like it because he said it, and I didn't actually see it where there was any showboating from his players. It was a hard-fought result for them right till the end, wasn't it? We weren't creating a lot, at the end, but we were still in it, weren't we? Right until the end. But yeah, I like it. It's a great one. It's a good one.
I thought we were fighting to the end, at least. I didn't think that, obviously the red card hurt, but there was other parts that, some of the goals that we let in were a little sloppy. Say again?
No, sorry, I didn't mean. I just, when you said it, I feel so bad for the kid. No, I just really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough one to have on, labeled on a day that could have been, something that he could look back at and really feel proud of, which he still should. I mean, that's personally what I would.
The whole family watching. The whole
Yeah,
thing.
the whole family
are
watching
back
and
home, be watching that. Oh, the cousins are
If
around, the
if
aunties.
not at the game, possibly. Maybe they even made it to the game.
Yeah.
But
I must confess, I enjoyed a lot of the stock media coverage, of the PSV game that was proud to announce that we lost our unbeaten record. That went down well with me. A lot of those words were really, really fucking funny.
okay, gosh, we've already passed the F-bomb quota for this episode, so let's try not to hamper on that.
Which he took to it last night, after Liverpool, we got shot. And Liverpool got can they really do it? Can they do it? No, they got fucking beat. It was just some of the commentary, some of the media reports about it, and that just made me laugh. I don't want to say I'm paranoid, or anything but I'm a bit like that sometimes, about the media tend towards our club. And it just made me laugh. It was really, really fucking, it was really effing funny.
Okay, there you go. Please, I see your F-bomb quota, and I'll raise you. Okay. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Rather than the other one.
I got you. All right, all right. Well, I saw there was other stuff, we answered somewhat. The other questions I had were already kind of addressed by some of your answers, that you raised. And I do think and hope that we do have an opportunity to see PSV again. And also, because I think with a fully staffed squad, it's a different story with this team. So it is what it is. This last segment, because we're coming up close to the end of the show here, this last segment is the segment of what we're going to do. What I was going to do is I was going to ask, rather than rate the entire teams, and it just have to be like by the luck of the draw, which is what we'll see tomorrow. We will have a preview show tomorrow set up for the Cherries match. But we will also do, I hope it's going to be, I'm not certain. Do you know what time the draw is tomorrow by any chance, anyone on the panel? Because tomorrow is the draw for how the Champions League's going to fall
I
out.
would say 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. That's 8 o'clock in like Britain and other bits of Europe as well, I think.
Okay, cool.
And Nigeria. Nigeria is on the same time as London.
No, well, France, where the draw is, it's like close, isn't it? Bloody France.
Yeah, so Nigeria is still on GMT.
8 o'clock.
Because it's crazy.
It's usually the hour when we get the thing.
Well, all right. Well, we will take care of that tomorrow. I know that Abdul was asking for a little bit of a peek of what we think about the predictions for the team lineup and for possibly even the games for tomorrow. We will certainly get into that tomorrow with, a lineup prediction, some scorers, and possibly even the prediction of but certainly the prediction of what we think is going to be the end result. But for today and also tomorrow, we hope to be live. I think we will be during the actual draw. So as the draw is being, siphoned out tomorrow, we will also be giving you updates, and we'll kind of see who's going to be playing who, and we can maybe even have a little fun pick of like what we think about those games. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit, they're going to be a little ways away when we actually get there, so the lineups and the likes will obviously change, whether because of injuries to other teams and the likes. But we'll have a little fun with that too tomorrow. But for today, what I was saying is that we were going to do something today, which is do a player highlight thing in a highlight segment, in that we're going to say nominate a player, and you can, from yesterday's match, that you want to speak on at length, because often the times when we're in these ratings, we go through a whole panel. People get a little lengthy with their descriptions or their ratings, or with their certain disdainment, or if not positive accolades for the player. But this way you'll get the opportunity to give your player that you would like to see in the highlight. So in the chat, if you want, put the player that you would most like to highlight, and then from the chat, I'll make a concerted effort to, tabulate some type of number for whatever player it is, and I'll bring them up. If they haven't already been highlighted, I'll bring up the second place winner of the chat. Okay, but again, we're going to start this off and allow for our panel to kind of pick a player. They'll give their rating for the player in the game, and then they'll also say, you can explain why you gave that rating, and you can kind of give some highlights or give some reasons why why you believe you would like to have him in the player highlight. That's what I think that's what we're trying, or at least what is the temporary name, at least for this right now. So again, let's begin with Nalante. We'll begin with you, and I'll ask you, what player would you like to bring up in the player highlight?
I'll say Chiesa.
Okay, all right. Let me do the right thing here, and
You have to give a speech now. By the way, you don't just get to name a player. You have to give a speech now.
yeah, you're doing the acceptance speech for him.
No. Yeah. No. I did it. For me, Chiesa. I mean, again, there was a lot of talk, and obviously, I think before we previewed thinking Slot would go against his better judgment, play a stronger team, and I'm glad Chiesa got a full 90 minutes. He didn't. I was hoping that he would not be taken off, and he was. And you saw bits and pieces during the game, glimpses of what Chiesa we know he can do. I think it was a very promising 90 minutes. And then again, even though it's a makeshift team, he was trying to make things happen. And yeah, man, I thought. I mean, if you're looking for who was the best players in our team, I think you could say him. He's up there. So yeah.
So, here you go. Well, you kind of spoke on before I can get the graphic up there, but okay. What would you give him as a rating, and why did you give him that rating too? By the way,
I'll say a 72, and the reason why is that I think he's always involved in the game, and JK made a point about him jacking back. Obviously, he kind of got him. Was not an assist, but it's a mini assist to Elliott. And he started the game with the snapshot, the quick turn and shot, easy save. But he was always threatening. He was trying to take men on, trying to link up with the attack. He's always there or thereabouts in the game. So for me, he was one. He was one of probably our better player, definitely a better players last night.
Okay. All right. So it's a 7, right?
Yeah.
70.
72.
72.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah, 72 for me.
I see Max gave him a 75. Okay. Probably one of our better players yesterday. I'm just wondering because, obviously it's a shot for Kelleher, shot for Chiesa. Yeah, keep them, get your votes in, and we will speak on whoever is the winner of the chat as well. You can kind of we'll certainly bring up your comments as well. But we'll at least bring him into the highlight reel, and we can speak on him as well, just so you know. So, and all right, so now let's go with we'll do Lee next.
Not
How
me.
about that?
Yeah,
Lee.
not me.
Yeah. Lee, who's your
It'll be
player that you'd
last,
like to bring into
No, just not right now for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna say Ian Rush.
Yeah,
memory lane guy.
Ronald Koeman.
Hey, Moby.
Ian Rush was his best. I was too young.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, look what you've done, Jake.
Oh,
Yeah,
JK.
What have you
JK
done?
said, "Oh,
He come
I'll
back
start
and
that chainsaw. I'll get
great
that chainsaw going."
I never saw Prime Rush. I saw him, but I never saw Prime Rush.
Okay.
I'm old.
I've seen Rush.
How about
I've seen Rush.
yesterday? Tell us a player about tell a player yesterday that you saw that you would like to bring into the highlight, into the 12th man highlight.
Well, it's got to be Fetty, isn't it? Fetty.
We got to pick. We already spoken on today's. Unless you want to bring.
Oh, someone is gone. Do we have? So we have someone's already taken. We have to pick someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was saying it's kind of like a draw. Like you just.
Oh, okay.
Luck of the draw. I know you might have wanted to speak on Chiesa, but is there another? I'm sure that you could probably find one
I said
other player.
this before. I don't know that much about Chiesa. I've seen him before. He wasn't our player. I've seen him as a good player.
No,
Lee,
Lee.
he's gone. He's gone.
I haven't seen him enough to say much about him.
No, Lee's got to be someone else in the team. So Chiesa's done. He's got to be. Would it be Kwanzaa or McConnell? Or Gakpo, Cody, something like that.
Chiesa is the only one that's gone. So anyone other than Chiesa from yesterday would be your highlight. player highlight is
Robbo, Captain Robbo, Robbo.
Oh, all right,
Okay.
all right. Give me a second. I gotta like radio down to.
Or Bentley captain us that night, played in an unfamiliar position, and we were great, mate. They were no trouble when he was on. It was only when he went
you
off.
called it, Lee. No, Lee, you called it in the preview show. You called it at the end. You were saying, "Is there a chance actually we may see Robbo playing left centre half?" You called it, man.
You did call it. You did call
Yeah,
it.
you called
By the way, I will openly admit that.
That's inside information from
All right,
Liverpool.
so wait,
that
just
is.
give me a second. Just give me a second, Lee. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make
he
the
says
call
he's not an
down.
ITK. He says he's not an ITK,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
but all of a sudden he knew
Yeah.
Robbo was starting left
That's what he
centre
tells all
half.
the chicks.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
All right, so we're gonna do the 12th man player highlight. You wanted to bring in, you said
Andy Robbo.
Andrew Robertson. Okay, go ahead. Tell
El
us why you have Robbo in your player highlight.
Yeah,
And what was your rating for him yesterday, too, by the way?
he was good. He was really good, wasn't he? At left centre half, like it was only when he went off, like that it deteriorated, like fucking defensive display. And Gaspo, him and Gaspo going off around the same time. We were dead, like after that, like weren't we? But we never conceded a goal. That was my delight of last game. Last night's game. My delight of last night's game is that we managed to get through the whole of the second half without conceding a goal and even had a man sent off. That's a party, sir.
Okay. All right, that was interesting.
So what was your rating,
Robbo? But all right, and what is your?
What was your number, Lee? What's your number?
Yeah. What was your rating, Robbo?
What did he do that was good? Yeah, he was captain and that. 88.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
88.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was Virgil last night.
Okay, Robbo, he might not have given you such a ringing endorsement with his words, but he gave you a massive endorsement with that rating.
And he did Virgil's job last night, didn't he? So I'm giving him an 88. You can't give him a
Robbo, mate, I tell you, Robbo's going to give you tickets to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The next whole game. Jeez. Lee, okay.
Yeah.
Tell you, mate, you wait for that phone call tomorrow, Lee, from Andy Robbo.
Yeah, a little haggis pie or something like that.
Haggis,
right now.
He's getting first class. I'll tell you, he's getting the suite at Anfield.
Wow. Uncle Chris, I know him anyway.
Haggis and a wee dram, a whiskey.
Yeah. A wee drama, yeah. A wee drama.
There you go.
58, 30 points. That's football fandom for you. You say 88. Robert says I'll raise you to 58. But yeah, 55 for Hash. Oof. Is that because he only played about an hour, or because?
I reckon probably that, and they don't think he done that well. I reckon a bit, but
weird thing lodged in my mind that last night was just like some mad thing for Robbo, where he's like captain, different job, did it brilliantly. We were like massive in the game before he went off.
You played centre half.
Yeah, but
season, like
Robertson yesterday, after he got booked near the end of this first half, he had a horrible 5 minutes. We just conceded 2 goals. He got booked. It was just, I think Robert had a bit of a nightmare there.
It's his player highlight. Let him
exactly.
I let him have it. Okay.
Moment.
I'm just showing him the highlight.
He's the one, like, as in this is supposed to be like as if like at the end of the game, you get to pick your the player that you want to interview. Not always is the player that gets interviewed the player of the match, by the way. Sometimes it's just a player that contributed or was a player that did well in the game, or maybe it's just a player that's that's representing us. And
he's just telling you all to shut up, by the way, basically is what he's telling you.
I'm all building his legend up, like, because we've won the league fucking once, like, in the last 30 years.
Me too, as well. I mean, he's only
I'm just saying that it's his player highlight. He gets to say who he wants as player highlight. Because the same for you. So, all right, JK, how about this? Who would you like to have in your player highlight? Robbo and Chiesa are they're already back in the locker room, getting dressed.
I would say Elliot because of the way certain fans just jumped on the back of him. You know,
Okay,
like what did the guy
all
do
right.
wrong?
Let me send down the intern to find Harvey so he can enter the highlight.
What's your number?
for you.
Well, he's looking for the picture. What's your number to start off with? And people in the chat can get in their number for Elliot then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a
yes.
75.
We're ready to.
75. So people in the chat, get your Elliot number in.
Yes.
See how you match up with JK.
Oops. This is going to be the player highlight. Up. I now here he is ready, so I'm going to bring him out. I see 45. Wow.
Oh,
Ouch.
so what game was he watching?
I know, there you go. Well, here's Harvey Elliott. He just saw.
He's probably watching the Tottenham match.
Goal. He got a goal, and that wins you loads of points getting a goal, doesn't it, mate? It's like his first start in ages, and he got a fucking goal, mate. That's loads of points in fantasy football or whatever, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, for me, Elliot, I reckon. Look, he scored a goal. The defense sort of let him down. I think if we win the game there 2-0, we're sorted. You know, Elliot did his part. I think I wanted to see more passing from Elliot, but other than that, he was lively at the start of the game.
Okay.
You know, and I think he played okay. You know, the way certain fans are going, it's just like he's robbed their house keys and robbed his house or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, chill out.
It's a hard game for him to come in and play, like, and try to be the main man, like, in a game like that. It just wasn't.
But he's been there, done it before, Lee, with he scored goals in the Champions League that time against Rangers, and then he scored against someone else in that season. Now he's scoring against Lille and he scored against PSV now. For me, none of these guys who moan about him are going to do a better job than him.
If I'm honest, like, he's good and all that, like, but I'm in that sort of mood tonight where I don't think.
Oh, you're certainly in a mood.
But
all right.
He'll have to be good somewhere else, I think. I like him, he's been good and all that, like, but I think tonight, I don't think he's got a future here now. I mean, like, mood, but I don't think Harvey's got a future.
Yeah, well, it is. Harvey's got spirit. He's got spirit in him. He'll do it.
It is. No, I like KJ's 2 for 2, and he's two goals in the 2 games.
He could grow about like 5 inches.
Well,
faster,
that first one
have a future here, like, but the way he is now, I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, you're saying just because the first one was like a deflected goal?
No, I'm just saying that first one is he has seen that. Look, I'm just nitpicking on the two. It's like but
you can't.
No, it's how many times I'm just saying, like, by the time Chiesa leaves,
shots you don't take, so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just by the time Chiesa leaves, the amount of players that would have scored goals from his shots that have been saved is going to be half his freaking highlight reel. I guarantee you. He's already done.
You're thinking of the what was that Crystal Palace one? I think you're thinking of.
Or it's not just him. Chiesa, the amount of times Chiesa
dances. Not that one. It was what's the game? Wolves, right? I think it was Wolves. He had one that he had a goal, and it looked like it was going to. I actually don't even think he got credit for it because I think it was going wide, but it ended up going, and it was an important goal for us too.
Oh yeah, 3-1. Yeah, I remember.
I'm just saying that's what you're speaking on, right, Brian?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, the amount of, like, if Chiesa leaves in a year and we're to look at his highlights reel, the amount of times, I reckon there'll be at least 10 to 15 times where he takes a shot, the keeper saves it, and someone follows it up. It's almost a signature move at this stage. Like, the amount of shots that he's taking and people are gobbling him up, people are gambling in the center. It's he's creating by shooting, you know, it's happened. People are like, they'll look at Fetty's about to shoot here. They'll have seen before. If the keeper saves this, it's probably going to drop in the middle. I'm going to be right there. Bang, drops me, finish it. This is not a coincidence. What's happening here? They're gambling. They know what he's about to do, and it's not a coincidence. People are picking up the scraps off his saved shots. I think you're going to see it happen a lot more.
Is that the first time he's played the whole game for us?
Yeah.
It's
And he
first
got
start.
Oh, this
First
year.
start.
And he's still running around.
First time
88th
he played
minute.
the whole game for us, and he got 2 assists.
Oh, hang on, so you're talking about Chiesa
year,
or
I mean, kind of period of
Yeah,
it. He was on the men too. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
you want me
All
to
right.
do that?
All right. Well, Harvey,
We do
thank you
that.
for joining us today. Thank you very much. Most of what was said was positive about you. So, all right, but this is the player highlights. Sometimes we keep it 100. So all good. All right. Well, we've gotten JKs. We got Nolantes, right? Lee, who would you like? All right, we got Robbo.
No, Lee. We've done Lee. Robbo.
We've done Lee.
Yeah, it's just me now.
Yeah.
We've done Lee.
It's just
It's
Lee
Brian.
did
It's
Robbo.
last.
We've done all the panel except for Brian.
Yeah.
Who would you
Yeah.
like to bring into the arena?
Yeah, this is tough now because Gaze is gone. Robbo, who I wouldn't, yeah, that was okay. I wouldn't have gone with him anyway. Elliot, yeah, that was cool. I probably wouldn't have gone with him anyway. But I'm still down to, like, we didn't have an amazing game.
Mhm.
So
If you want, I'll throw you a bone. If you want,
No,
you can
I'll
also
work with it. I'll
Okay,
work with it.
because I
I'll
was gonna say
work with it.
you could bring up maybe Arnie Slot if you really wanted to or something like that. But
No, I'll
I
work
was
with it.
gonna
I'll
save
work
I
with
was
it.
gonna save Arnie Slot for everyone to have a comment on. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gakpo, he did his thing, very high quality version of the no celebration. Nice props all the way around on that one. But I would have to then because the other boys at the back weren't super impressive. Yeah, I'll give it to McConnell. I think McConnell
Of course,
started well.
I don't know if I have
I thought
I don't know if I have a graphic for McConnell. That's why. Let's see if I can
Oh,
find
okay.
one.
You can just get random player that looks like a kid. Just throw
Yeah.
in Bradley. He looks decent.
I mean, I have a
Morgan or
headshot
something.
for him, but that'll be kind of weird to have like a floating head somewhat.
Yeah.
Player highlight.
Just
Sounds fun.
get throw in a Morton or something like that. But I thought we were beaten, okay. And I thought they played really well. But I thought with McConnell, it impressed me actually. He kind of got a bit better later on during the game. When the game kind of picked up, he looked the better more he played. He's got lovely touch, great vision. He can pass a ball blind around the corner. He's like Mark is saying, a very brave in possession. I think he's a proper little footballer, and we even played him at left back there the other day. I really, really think not just last night, we're impressed by him. So I thought he grew into that game because when we were talking about it, we're like, well, he'll come off. I don't think McConnell did come off, did he? The guy played most of the game at least, and in a tough game against a big team in away performance. I think he maybe went into a shell in the midpoint of the game a tiny bit.
Yeah, he played the full 90 yesterday.
Yeah, he played the whole game. So I would be, very, very, very impressed by this guy. And it was made mention of the fact that he was starting, and people in the know were like, oh, okay. He's just come back off an injury and he's starting over Morton kind of thing. But I don't think Morton, as good a player as he is, he hasn't got that about him. He hasn't got those little touches and that real kind of can't really teach that technique kind of shit. Calmness in possession and realizing after a while, actually, I belong on this pitch, if you get what I mean. And that's what I liked about how he improved later on in the game. So, long story short, numbers wise, because he played 90, I can give him a proper rating, and it's a fair rating, I suppose. And
I do. I think we do have. If you wait 1 second, let me see if I do. I think
Yeah,
we do
sure, no
have
problem.
reports. I'm getting reports in that we do have
He's in the building,
somewhat
is
of a
he?
picture. Yeah, we called him before he left. He has already gotten, he's dressed. He's right about to take off. But the young man, we told him, hey, we want to give you your proper due. So there you go. You can
There we
speak to him.
go.
There you go.
There he is. Yeah. All those trophies. That's the Champions Wall behind you. Well, there's a version of it. I'm sure there's more.
Mhm.
Well, it's not the main one, but that right there is what he's involved in. So, yeah, to be that young, to be that good at a club like us, very special. Must be a
Mhm.
special. Like, we let some. Bobby Clark was sold. Kumas was loaned out. Basetic was loaned out.
Mhm.
Certain players were loaned out or let go. This
Mhm.
guy wasn't.
Mhm.
There's a reason why we brought in one or two, and there's a reason why we kept. To my mind, there's a reason why we kept Dan's,
Mhm.
this kid, and one or two others that would have been wanted on loan. Now, this is what I'm saying. I think this kid, who knows? In 5 years' time,
Yeah,
who knows?
I
But
agree with you.
definitely right now, special.
Yeah,
And
he's got
great
good.
game
He's
for
got
him.
the good frame. Got like the right, frame, like body frame to be able to not look like he's got still the ability to grow into. As he grows older, he'll grow a little bit more, a little stronger. And also has certainly some talents behind the ball that are very noticeable too. And being that he's had the opportunity to play on the levels that he's had to play on, he certainly hasn't cowered from
That's the main thing, isn't it? That's the main thing. The mentality to be able to go, like I said, okay, I was a bit nervous at the start, but as you would be, but he's after a while going, no, I belong on this pitch. I can do these passes. I can make these moves. And yeah, so I'll give the young man, I will give him a 79.
Okay.
79.
Okay, 79. I think the chat was right up with you. Not necessarily. I don't see any ratings for him, but I know that.
Chime in about the Wall of Champions. Do you reckon when we win our second Premier League title, the old one that sort of signifies that we've done it before will be got rid of, and it'll just be like 20 above like a Premier League looking trophy? Or will
I prefer to see it
the old one remain as well?
separately.
Right?
Yeah, I prefer to see separate ones. I prefer to see two trophies with a Premier League one, and then
No, it's the
uh,
same
yeah.
bastard thing, mate. I just want to
It's the
see
same thing. It's a
20
different
Yeah.
story. If it was a different,
yeah, they've made it bigger now, like it was smaller years ago, like and that. But I don't want that to be. I want us to like be hip to that. Like it's a bad scene to be having that next to it, like because that's what modern football fans are like. It's like that was years ago. Yeah, but it still happened, mate. So I want the 20 above the big thing. I want the small.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, it should be the 20, but it's kind of like
Perfect
for all
world.
these people that say you've never won the Premier League
Of
as
every
well.
single trophy, every fucking year, every time we've won the league, every time we've won the European Cup, it'd be right fucking there in plain language, but it
Yes.
isn't. So once it's the small trophy like from before.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
McCollum's getting 80s, 83s,
In the 80s,
80s.
I know he's gotten the highest marks
well.
pretty much out
Yeah.
of all the, higher than Chiesa, who I thought would have gotten probably the highest marks out of anyone. But yeah, he's getting the highest marks. I mean,
I took a good game.
Yeah.
I took a good game.
Because earlier, I think it was Max said that no one deserved a rating over 80, I believe, or something. And
Yeah, I agree with that.
he's gotten some 80s in here. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But I was going on last night, so I'll go on again. I want to draw level with AC Milan on several Champions Leagues, European Cups, whatever you want to call them, whatever terminology you want to use. If we get 7, then we're second. Okay, we're only level pegging with AC Milan, like, and maybe might move over them, like, in a period of time. But that's got to happen soon. I can't take where we are now, third with Bayern Munich. That's bullshit. That has to change.
Yeah.
Much like your change is like the square jar that you'll be contributing to, man, because you are dropping, man.
Barcelona tried it on now.
All right.
My lifetime, but they're trying it on lately. Like, we've got to get out of this scene of like Bayern and get up where AC Milan are, and then overtake them. So we're the only number 2, the original number 2.
Well, this is what I was going to bring up next. Is
good though, yeah. I don't know about their early ones. I've never researched them that big. The ones like when I was alive, they were dead good. Remember, like they played Barcelona and Barcelona, and AC Milan just wiped their ass with them 4-0. It was like a great fucking final. Like,
oh my God. Lee. Lee has taken this episode from PG-13 to rated R, but we will continue on with Arnie Slot. That's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, Arnie Slot. Yeah, let's get to Arnie Slot.
Let's get
Barcelona are only one behind us now. So
Lee. Lee.
I know. Lee, let's just get your rating. Let's just get your rating for Arnie Slot. We'll go through the entire panel. What did you think about Arnie Slot yesterday, and what he did with resting so many players? If he was, was he right in some of the substitutions, or did he even get the mixture of the starting lineup right? Did you like what you saw from our guys yesterday, and did we have the right game plan for yesterday? Lee, you can start this off.
For me, it was perfection. You can see it on the man's face here in the shot of him, can't you? Like, he knew what he was doing. And yeah, it was one of the good ones. I like it. We didn't have to do anything mad, but it was one of the good ones, wasn't it? Like, he's like, yes, here I am. Have a look at this. And he was back in town, wasn't he, in his own home country and that, like, and yeah, I love it.
How about for you, JK? What did you like about yesterday from Arnie?
I think we were like a Darwin, maybe a Canate against a Botsley from the first 11 away from a win. We could have won that game yesterday, I feel. He probably felt like after the game finished, we could have actually won that game. I think we just like 1 or 2 players short of winning it. He gave everyone a game. With what he had, like Darwin Vital, he brought Duns in. I'm going to give him a 65.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I could just chime in, 8 out of 8 is showing off. Might have made us a bigger target in the knockout stages. So 7 from 8 is good for me. 8 out of 8, that's just taking the piss, isn't it? There's no need for it. Like, I'm glad we didn't do it.
Okay. Nolante, what was your evaluation to the man that finally did something you've been suggesting for quite some time yesterday, and that is rest a lot of players, but were you happy still with what you saw?
Appreciate 12, that little plug there. Appreciate it. See? And man, sometimes you don't forget. No,
you gotta represent. I mean, I'm all about if you make those statements, or I'm sure you get ridiculed when you're making those statements. I believe you should get credit for when you get when you get vindicated for your statements. I think you should properly get the spotlight on your own. So.
Yeah. Again, like you said, appreciate it. I was happy with that. I mean, in hindsight, again, it's not really that deep, but I mean, I would have played Morton, put Endo S in the back with Kwanzaa. I would have liked Morton to start alongside McConnell. So I think he's played a few games, but apart from that, that's fine. Cody, I guess. I mean, I would have rested Cody and played Diaz, but I mean, it's just little things. There's no point. Lineup done okay. to be fair, those moments they were a bit sloppy, but I thought they done okay-ish to a certain extent. PSV didn't really do much, but we lost the game. Like I said before, it's not a biggie. I think fans that are saying yes, we want 8 out of 8, but it's not every game we're gonna win. We gotta be honest, you know what I mean? And this is a game, fair enough. We're top. Whether we finished first or second, I wasn't really bothered about that. We're through, and that's all that matters. But on yesterday's performance, yeah, I think like JK, I can't give him a high mark because we lost, but I wouldn't give him a low mark. So 67 for me.
67. Okay. Last but not least, Brian, what was your assessment of the slot machine?
Well, rotation was called for. Rotation was delivered, and we lost. So I can't say that the decision to do it was proved right or anything like that. I think we all know that it was, like I said, I'm only joking. To me, it didn't really matter. I think he played it right. That's what I get. Like, I predicted a loss before the game and especially when I saw it, because I just thought they're going to want this a lot more than us. We're putting out basically a kind of a five-a-side random kind of team, and I could see it coming, but I think he just played it right, thinking if we lose this, it won't really matter, but we can put out a decent performance, which we did. So I think, yeah, he played the cards the way they laid. That's the way he should have done it. There was no need to go, I care nothing more than, I want to make sure we win this. So I'm going to play Mo and Bird, blah, 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 blah. Definitely. But we lost the game. So I can't give him like 80. Say if he made all those changes and we won 3-2, he's getting like 88, 89, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't get, I thought, yeah, he played it I give him what's fair. I was just saying 75, 65. So, yeah, I'll go in the middle. I don't know, man. That's actually a real tough one. I think he did right by the players. He did right by the club. The job is done. 65. Sorry. Yeah, 65. That's a hard one, though. It's a hard one.
Cash salt your way too.
For me, the game tonight was close to 100% in terms of what we've got coming up, like, and that. Players we were able to rest and then did rest. This was like big time from Arnie tonight. I think he knew that. He was going home, wasn't he, to Holland? And he went, I'll come in with my kids. I might lose, I might draw.
Well, one thing, and I'll bring down Arnie for right now. One thing that I did want to bring up before we leave is yesterday it was something I don't believe I mentioned it on Copish. I wasn't on the panel Copish. I was in the chat for Copish. I know they saw the statement, but maybe they didn't really take it serious, so they didn't bring up the statement. But yesterday I was speaking backstage with the guys, and there was something there that I offered as a suggestion, maybe for what we see, which is for what we see when it comes to. Let me get this up here for you. For what we see as for like the brackets and how this tournament's working. Obviously, we can save proper judgment for everything until the very, very end of this. So like I know some people have warmed to this. I mean, we gotta admit that yesterday was certainly a hectic, crazy, as we match mayhem. Yeah, I know I'm loading up, so hopefully you're hearing what I'm saying. Oh. Yep. Yeah, 1 second. Sorry about that. It's loading. There's a lot of graphics that were loading up. I was trying to get the scores before you guys, but to show you basically the bracketed view of what we're going to be looking at for the actual what I'm about to propose, at least. And JK can back me up as to, because he's actually one of the reasons why I'm actually bringing this up is because I actually was I know I believe JK and Lante were actually on Fozzie's show earlier, LRFC. If you haven't joined that channel, please do. It's a great channel. Also, it's hosted by a great individual, Fozzie. And on, or at least while that show was on, I happened to be looking through the feed of the YouTube feed, and I saw ESPN FC has a segment with Gabs and Jules, it's called. And basically why I'm bringing that up is because it was interesting that Gabs said something that I actually proposed as being possibly some type of, or I can bring back the camera, I think, and it's not going to pop up too much. It was a possible tweak or maybe a rendition to the tournament that I at least thought would have been a possible cool rendition. And I'll share it with you, and I'll get your ideas and what you might think about it. I'll ask the panel as well, but I'm going to ask you in the chat too. So as we all know, this is going to be the actual, I'll make this full screen actually. This is going to be the actual breakdown of the tournament that we have. So we're now into the knockout phase, the playoff phase that's going to be in tomorrow. I saw a lot of confusion being on some of the channels as to how it all works, and is it really this or is it really that of a benefit? Because if you look at it, we have, for instance, it says here Liverpool or Barcelona. Okay, so obviously it's going to be obviously Liverpool or Barcelona that get this seed in this bracket at the top. That's going to be in a draw. That's going to be a part of tomorrow. And big up, the Irishman football is also something that you get involved in if you haven't. Obviously, JK's link is there. Soon to be appearing will be in Alante as well. But again, on this, you see Barcelona or Liverpool as being the participant on the bottom half of the bracket. You see one is blue and one is gray here. And that participant would obviously get to see the same participants, two of the same participants of the four. Guys, and they'll see two of the participants of these four. And we obviously have the same options of getting two out of the whatever two from the four that we get to be the knockout playoff winner that we'll have to face. Now, what I was saying and suggesting, and was interesting again, that I heard Gabs, and apparently the UEFA, a UEFA executive, because Gabs said this in the broadcast, apparently a UEFA executive thought this would be a good idea as well. And that is maybe in the as a reward, and I think this would be a good reward because it's something I saw Drifty was saying, and some of the people in the chat were saying in his chat, is it a benefit? Is it a real? Is it people would thought that okay, well, we're first seed, we should probably have to face off against the 25th or the 24th seed, or something like that, and just have it where we've the first place 25, the second place 24, and the likes and so on. But because there's a knockout playoff, and because the case, that's not going to be the situation. That's not going to be the result of what it is. So the reason why is because the 21st or 22nd seed, for instance, is going to play the 11th seed or the 12th seed. Okay. And then that seed will have to play the 5th or 6th seed. Now, most likely, that doesn't sound great, but at the very same time, because we still have to play a 15th, 16th, or 17th or 18th seed. But at the very same time, it kind of factors out a little bit because we're getting the best of the worst, I guess you could say, like as in the difference is because if it wasn't that case, then we would probably have to the 11th and 12th seed has to play someone more closer towards where they would get a real benefit for placing 11th or 12th. That's the reason. So with that said,
Protectionism. It's all about protection.
right.
On a personal
I had
note,
suggested, let me land, Lee.
the European
I
Cup
suggested,
final,
Lee, let me land. I'm about to land. I suggested that the first seed should get something of a, you could call it a draft, you could call it a, a winner's pick. I suggested that the first seed should get to pick whoever it is from the playoffs. He should be able to pick whoever wins from the playoff as his next opponent. So the playoffs go into this big, round robin style, or whatever you want to call it, style knockout phase playoffs to get into the round of 16. Hypothetically, whoever ends up being those predictions, let's just say it ends up being everyone on the right side of this phase here. So that would mean, let's see, the 24th seeds, the lowest seed that advanced into the round of 16. Liverpool can then say, okay, we choose Club Brugge. Or maybe they choose someone completely different. They don't have to choose Club Brugge. They could choose a team that they just maybe in their minds match up better against. Or maybe it's because they want to do less travel or something. Whatever the reasoning is. As the winner, as the number one seed, you would get to pick who it is your next opponent can be. And I wasn't alone in that. And that's what was kind of interesting. So I was bringing that up. Wanted to hear if you thought maybe it was something that you could be interested in seeing maybe as an additional tweak to the system. It doesn't take away anything from the knockout phase. If anything, it says, okay, we're going to put you, the knockout phase is almost like a gladiator arena style phase of the tournament. And then you get to face the number one seed says, I'm going to pick this opponent for myself. And then the second seed gets to pick their opponent, and you could do it. Maybe even maybe, hypothetically, the 8th seed's going to be there and that there's a better opponent for you than there is for them. You pick the opponent, whatever it is. It's a true reward. I thought that was maybe something that could be a possible.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem or do you like the idea of that, or
maybe
do you have your own to the system?
Like when you mentioned it yesterday and today in the chat as well, I was like, you know what, that's a good idea because of we finished top. Okay, we got a bit more prize money than the rest of the guys and stuff like that, but I think we should have a little bit of initiative going into the next set of games and stuff. And I think that picking your opponent will have brought up a new world of football, It will be, I hope you're painting that idea.
Yeah.
I like it, man. It's a bit crazy thinking about it, but I feel it will be a real good idea just to do it now and again, like maybe every 5 years or every 3 years or whatever it is, just to see how it went. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I have to say, as a grown man of some 51 years, the one name that scares me is Real Madrid. As you don't want to play them anytime soon at any stage of any competition. Bollocks to this revenge stuff. Let's get them and beat them. No, I want to avoid them at all fucking costs, mate. I would like a Barcelona final, us and Barcelona. It would be like our one against AC Milan in 2007, where they were one ahead of us and we were trying to equalise. That'd be it with Barcelona. We're one ahead of them. They'd be trying to equalise, but we'll win, like fucking Milan does. Do you know what I mean? And just keep it up a bit, and all that stuff. This is me thinking now. We've got to be number 2 in this, being number 3. I mean, everyone wants to be number 1. Being number 1's great, but no one's going to catch Madrid now. They've won too many titles. But for us to be behind AC Milan, it's got to stop soon. It's got to stop soon, that, mate. It only needs one more, and then we're there. And then we need two more, and then we're above them, like, you know what I mean? We're just one rung above them on the ladder then. Our own personal number one, sorry, our own personal number 2 spot behind Real Madrid.
Yeah. We're definitely. I'm gonna have to write a letter to the. You ever see those Orbit commercials? The gum commercial, where like the Orbit. I think it's Orbit's gum, right?
Yeah.
And there's always like there's this person that has like this. He's like cursing and he's using all these swear words, and she pops up and she's like, you know, like we need to clean out that mouth, you know, or something like that. Clean up that mouth. Jeez. We were sending the Orbit girl to your house, Lee, for sure, with a year supply of gum. I was going to say,
rivals. If we make it 27 this season, in conjunction the 20 and the 7, our rivals won't be able to cope, will they? They'll just be like, they'll be the ears, won't they? And the hate will grow. The hate will grow. But I'm wanting it. I feel it. I want it. I want the hate to grow because we keep winning.
But I like your idea, 12, about the option of picking your opponent. I think it's a crazy idea, but I like it.
It's a crazy idea. I know it's out. Yeah. It's definitely out. It's thinking outside the box. I understand that.
Yeah,
but
something different.
It's different. I mean, this is different that we're seeing right now with this tournament. Yeah. You know, like as in this whole tournament's different. A lot of people are, you know, were very animated against this and did not like it, and, you know, and the likes, and even with the way it's set up still, you know, it's had people say, okay, well, it's obvious that they want this or that or whatever. And like, look, the seeds fell the way it fell, you know, it has nothing to do with like how they marked it out. This was already pre-planned as in how it would end up falling in, but it ended up being that some of these teams fell into the spots they did. So therefore, now you have these matchups that are going to be some very, very high-profile matchups coming in the next round. But
I think the draw is tomorrow at 12, if I'm not mistaken. Is it tomorrow at 12?
I can find out for you. Give me a second.
Yeah, because I think the
it's 12 UK time.
Is it 12? Yeah, 12. Nante, yeah.
Yeah, UK time. Yeah, I'll double check. Yeah,
it is
every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have seen.
Yeah, it's just. I think if you look at
draw, made me laugh.
What time that would be? That'd be pretty early in the morning, actually, for me. But we can still maybe do it. We'll do an episode. We can still do an episode to kind of do
it long.
Didn't once upon a time they used to do the draw in Monaco, but now they've like moved it from Monaco to somewhere else, Leon, which is more central, I believe.
Yeah, they moved it to Leon. Normally it's at Geneva as well, Switzerland.
You know what it is with me? I'm just a child like that. What I remember is like seeing something on the telly and it was about Monaco and it was like the Prince fella, Prince Albert. And
he's doing the draw tomorrow.
And that, like, you know, maybe because his dad was the one who married Grace Kelly, Prince Rainier.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
but
Brian.
Prince Rainier looked like Napoleon with a wig on.
Lee, let him go. Lee, let him go. Let him go, bro. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
I actually don't know what I was going to say now at this stage.
You're talking. Were you gonna have a comment on my idea, maybe? Or did what?
Well, on that, that'd be a no. That'd be a hard no comment.
You don't like it?
I just, yeah.
Or it's not. It's my idea, but also
I know. I know.
You know, Gabs and UEFA. I think he's like the UEFA. You know, he's a high up that could make that. Who has enough power to make that kind of suggestion when it comes to the vote. But he. I'm
sending Lee to ask him.
Yeah, we'll have Lee ask him that question.
I'll find out if there's any skullduggery going on. I'll expose it. I'll do my gig.
They'll be like, We'll do it for you. Don't worry. We'll sort it out. Oh yeah.
If there's
No, hey, look, we're way over time. Way over time.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I'm only going to do another. If I'm going to try to at least not break the 3-hour mark on this one. So go ahead, Brian.
No, honestly, I've been bamboozled all over the shop there. I don't really know what my original point was, but
Okay.
it wasn't really about. But yeah, no, we can. It was probably something to do with the thing with the Champions League. Oh yeah, sorry. I was going to say, when you run this Swiss model for the next, say, 8 years. So when I say run this Swiss model, I mean the new Champions League format, not JK's Love Life or anything. But yeah, I mean, you pick the top 8 richest clubs in the world. You run this model for the next 8 years. 90% of the time, those clubs will make up your quarterfinalists and your semifinalists. So yeah, you always get like sport is sport, man. It's people out on the pitch. You can, like I say, you can bend it and twist it to your will as much. But if it's still a game to be played. Short of bribing referees and stuff, these teams can still go out and have a bad season. But if you run it over time, you're still going to see the main teams finishing. It'll look exciting for a while, and it is cool. Different way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's still set up that, more often than not, it's still going to be the main guys. You'll get your odd, what would you call it, like Leverkusens or an Atalanta or something like that. That'll break in. And yeah, but I just think that's the way it is.
All the other major European leagues to throw up a team as unachieved as Leicester to win the title in modern times. It just hasn't happened anywhere in Europe that I know of.
Well, it happened in France a while ago with a couple of small clubs. There's been a couple of random small clubs winning.
Like a small club like Leicester is in the Premier League, they were like a bit bigger than that. Or am I talking bollocks?
Yeah, but even before that, there was Lens that won one, I think, or Nantes or something. Anyway, yeah, I'll keep. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it was going about the Premier League, yeah, and I was like, a team. Fucking hell, I remember talking to some guy, like an Everton fan, the bar guy, and that, like, and he was saying, why couldn't this happen to my team? And it is, no, I haven't seen it in any of the other major European leagues. I haven't seen it in Germany, Italy, or Spain, where it's a club the size of Leicester can just win the league out of nowhere. It just doesn't happen. And that was the last sign of life for the Premier League, wasn't it? Like that Leicester were able to achieve this under Ranieri.
This is the knockout playoff draw that is the possible seeded pairings versus the unseeded pairings. You'll see how it goes.
These are guaranteed games, are they?
These are the guaranteed, yes.
Oh, I didn't see this. So hang on. So these are definitely happening. These games.
Yes, these are the games that are definitely happening.
Okay.
Count League Two.
So it's going to be either okay, so it's either going one of them or one against. Okay, so you could have Ace.
It could be 9 versus 23 or 9 versus 24 or 10 versus 23, 10 versus 24. That'll be part of the draw tomorrow. Yeah.
That Milan one, the Milan Feyenoord Juve PSV, that's a tough little group as well.
Right. Yep.
Nobody's really going to want any of them.
What do you think is the group of death here? Well, let's try that one.
Oh, the City group.
Oh, the City one's horrible.
Yeah,
imagine being Celtic right now.
Exactly. Celtic are like.
No, I'm sure Celtic's actually pretty happy because Celtic is going to get probably the biggest gate that they've ever gotten.
One of the biggest, Monaco, one of the
biggest, gates that they could have.
Yeah, they'll make money.
They'll make crazy money if whoever they end up playing, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. That'll be must see. Football for them, and I'm sure the tickets will be absolutely outrageous. But
not at Celtic Park. Well, they sell out Celtic Park every. Don't worry about that one. They sell that place out every single week.
I'm sure. But I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, like
the other one is easy down the bottom. There's 3 French teams in that: Paris, Monaco, Brest, Benfica. That's like the opposite of.
That's going to be I
That's
you
how
know what?
it's,
It's funny.
yeah.
You have to make a that could be
Yeah,
Viva la France bracket, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, 3 French teams.
Yeah.
The other one,
That's
Atalanta, could
unique
get
too, Brian. That I'll let you finish, but I was gonna say that's unique in
Alright.
that that's the whole country thing was posed as possibly a tweak, excuse me. Was a twerk as well, I guess.
Hey,
But
Oh,
it's all
Vegas
right.
again.
like
yeah,
we'll beat them
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
There's loads of old shit.
It
Joey
was
Bull-
a tweak that was
Yeah,
there was a tweak to the that they were going to try to hold from the previous system. They were going to try to do that, but they ended up noticing that it would make it very,
Yeah,
very
to fuck it up.
difficult.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah,
mess
yeah.
up all of these other seedings and the like.
Because
So
look at the other one. You got, like, in the Milan group, you got 2 Dutch teams and 2 Italian teams. What are you going to do there
yeah,
if they can't play each other? What do you? Yeah, and it's like you're okay saying the top one there. You've got Atalanta, Italy, Sporting Portugal, Club Brugge, Belgium, Dortmund, Germany. No problem there. But then the other one you got 3 French teams. That's just going to make it a whole mess of stuff. So yeah, those are some real interesting ones though. You know, it's
I think it's a good
yeah.
game. I don't think it's really
Bayern. Who would you want City to get though? Do you want City to get Madrid or get Bayern?
Madrid all week, all
Okay.
year.
Yeah, I'd rather Madrid because then one of them two are out.
But you know
Yeah,
what I can
exactly.
see
That's what
happening
I'm thinking.
is
That's
I
what
can
I'm thinking.
see the Bayern Munich one.
Well, playing Real
If the
Madrid.
Bayern Munich one happened, there would be a little bit more, I guess, because it would be company bringing the whole company and city
City thing,
connection.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I want Madrid for them.
But a lot of your Bayern fans are not really happy with him.
Yeah, it's the only team in there that I'm scared of. Fucking Real Madrid. It's hard to beat them over 2 legs. It's hard to beat them in the final. We were the last team to do it, like in 1981. Madrid are a scary team. Everyone else is dog shit. I'll have them all off, like, but Madrid is a scary team.
We beat both them two teams 2-0, 2-0 in a week.
Yeah.
Beat Madrid, but it doesn't matter. Like that fucking shit league game or something like the other week, whatever it is. And then you play them over 2 legs, mate. You're going out. You play them in the final. You're probably getting beat. We were the last team.
We're going to beat them whenever. We'll beat them. Watch.
Yeah, Brett, no, go ahead. Milwaukee.
Oh no, 12. I was gonna say I get what Lee's saying about the magnitude of the Real Madrid game, but it's still a well needed win because we've got a mental block against Madrid. So that win can only do confidence for the players. It's a new manager. Some of these players ain't played against Madrid, so it bodes them well if we do play them in the knockout stages. You know what I mean? So.
Oh no, well, yeah. But there's no real way we won't be able to play them until like the actual
semi.
Yeah.
I hope we don't play them at all.
So that's why, like, they're in the bottom. Most likely, we won't be. There is a chance. There is the actual chance that we do actually. If we end up, if it ends, or I shouldn't say there isn't a chance. There's a semi, or we could meet them in the quarters actually, at around 16 actually. It depends.
Shape up Smiley.
We're not. No, the semis. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, semi. Yeah.
Beat us, like, apart from them.
Mm-hmm.
Even Barcelona, I'd like them in the final. I'd like us from Barcelona in the final. That'd be good, especially if we win. We better win. Like, if we get fucking beat against them, that's a piss take.
Right.
I'd like
because basically what this is like. I'll show you as well. I brought this up and make it a little bigger so you can all see it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bracket and how it would kind of fall out for us. In that, hopefully that's big enough. If not, I can make it full screen. I got like 5 more minutes.
Probably better. Yeah, full screen.
Yeah.
And if you look at this, you'll see how basically it's a carbon copy of the left side and the right side, other than when the draw happens, that's when you'll see the form and shape of what happens with the teams. But I see now the 1 and 2 are both on the top in this one. They're on either east side or west side of the map or of the brackets.
West side.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm by nature, but I tend to think that referees favour Real Madrid if you play them in the advanced stages. Many clubs have grumbled at this.
Well, I hope that's not the case, and we shall see. We shall definitely see. I think that
My favourite
all
one,
things depending on who would you like to real quick. We've got like we only got a couple minutes left, so real quick, who do you want to see us face off against, and who do you want to see get matched up in that first in our bracket at least, and then who would you like to see us end up getting if we could?
Monaco for me.
Monaco, okay. How about for you, Nolante?
Not bothered. No, really, I'm not bothered.
Okay.
I'm above it.
Not bothered FC. They're from France.
Yeah.
Short trip, Eurostar.
The Catherine Tate. I'm above it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
How about for you, Brian? What was your
game?
Which one of those four would you like to see?
Well, just to remind the chat who the options are, not because I can't see it or anything like that, but just to remind people who the options are. It's Monaco,
Brest, Benfica, and PSG.
Yeah, last time we went to Paris, it was shit. Last time we went to Benfica, we bought Darwin Núñez. Last time we went to Brent, I don't think it's ever happened. So
Lee.
Okay,
Okay,
so
let Brian answer first, and then you can answer after Lee.
Go ahead, Brian. Who's the team you wanted to see?
But logic would suggest that you should go for the Brest, So
Logic has you.
Yeah.
Monaco.
We might be ending the stream right here. So let's.
Monaco may have.
Jeez.
Monaco may have powered up with the addition of Jordan Henderson, so that might be a little bit, for those people who believe in fate.
Yeah, that could be weird.
I'm sure he'll be registered, eligible. Sorry, is the word.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a bit of a reunion. So that might be on the cards, yeah. But I would take, obviously, as well as they have done. I would still look at that and you'd go Brest. But if not, then Monaco, Benfica are a little bit crazy. We saw what they did against Barca. They could turn it on one day. Next thing you know, they're going to score 3 goals. Come on, PSV. So Monaco or Brest, I will go for. Yeah, I'll go Brest. Yeah.
Okay. How about for you, Lee? Real quick. You got the last thing.
Monaco. Yeah. I want that Monaco game. But the only thing I've ever seen about Monaco is
Nolante. I don't know if did you say Nolante already? Did you
get? Yeah, said mine.
Okay.
No, I just.
Okay,
yeah,
let's make sure everyone got one in. So who do you want, Lee? Who's in this, real quick?
Monaco.
Monaco.
Called Monaco for a bit, like.
JK, did you say yours?
I think JK got his in, right?
I think JK wants Monaco.
He wanted Monaco.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. So Monaco sounds like it's the concerted.
Herbie goes to Monte Carlo with the alarm.
I'm the only Brest guy in the room, apparently. Who would have thought?
Sorry.
Who would have thought?
Oh my gosh. This episode has certainly been a romp. But we're going to be ending it here so we can end before the 3-hour mark. We're going to say thank you to everyone for joining us. We're going to have a preview for tomorrow. Also, I'm just saying it in care of the entire panel. We definitely say thank you for joining us today. and contributing and riding out this whole 3 hours with us, which is phenomenal. Those that did it, big ups to all of you, regardless. But those that were that did get all the way to the finish line with us, appreciate it definitely, because it definitely helps out the algorithm, and it certainly helps out the fact that we feel as though we're at least giving you content that you enjoy enough to keep us on. So yeah. So big up to everyone. We're going to end here. Join us tomorrow for our preview. We're going to be getting it in for a preview for the Cherries. Also, we're going to have probably a double episode tomorrow. I might be not the host of it, but I certainly will put together an episode for tomorrow for the draw, so we can get a taste of what it's going to be for us for the Champions League.
Okay, right, yeah,
and
and
also we'll get it in.
The only team I know that have got worries is Man City. We've got
don't worry, we'll chat afterwards. Yeah. So you want us to do maybe an early show with the draw?
Yeah, because it might be. I was just doing it in my head because it'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I can do that anyway. I can do that. No worries. Yeah.
So yeah, and then we can talk about it again, during the preview show. So join us tomorrow, one way or another. It's finally Friday. We might even have an actual participant on the. We might have a guest panelist as well tomorrow. For at least one of the episodes. So if not both. So definitely big up to everyone that joined us. Continue to spread the word about this channel. And I hope that your day is a fantastic day or evening or even not morning, wherever you're doing. I hope it's wonderful. And I hope that you join us tomorrow. So we will say good night. And also we'll say, as always, up the Reds. See you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.